Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen watching around the world. Welcome to our very special watch-along stream for the last match of the entire 2023 to 24 club volleyball season. It is the Women's Champions League SuperFinals, an all-Italian affair in Antalya, Turkey, between Imoco Conegliano and Vero Volley Milano. My name is Rob St. Clair. I'm pleased to be joined by former Champions League middle blocker and esteemed volleyball commentator, Miss Key Michael.
It's a
We
bit
had
much there. I don't know about esteemed.
esteemed. We had a great time earlier watching the men's game. Congratulations again to Trentino for taking a Champions League title back home to Italy on the men's side. We know that a Champions League will be going home to Italy on the women's side as well, but to who? We'll find out here in a couple minutes. So just to make it clear before we get going, this will not show the entire match. This stream is just Key and I and a couple very special guests who we have waiting to join us. We will just be watching the match on the side. We will be talking about the match. We'll be talking about the teams. We'll be telling stories. But if you want to watch the match itself, you have two options. One is to pick up a subscription to Eurovolley TV, and you can do that with a link in the description of this video. The other option is you can watch the stream on YouTube for the legendary tier of our membership subscribers here on the European Volleyball YouTube channel. A link to that is also in the video description. So if you're looking for the match itself, you want to go to the video description. But what we can do, Key, as we get ready for first serve here, is we have exactly 5 minutes worth of pre-game content that we can show you. I've got a timer set. We can't go over that number, but we can show you an abbreviated amount of footage live from the arena. And right now we have the introductions of the team from Milano, Vero Volley Milano, and I'm really excited to get into this. Key, where would you like to start? We've got some background to give the people before first serve. Where would you like to start?
I'd like to start by saying, first of all, you need to just get the subscription, whatever it is. I think it's like $10 on YouTube or Eurovolleyball TV. This is the match to watch of the season. So that's it. I'm saying my piece on that. You're only going to get 5 minutes from us, but otherwise we will be talking about it. Okay, let's start with both these two teams. What we did for the men's is we each chose, I'm going to call it a pony, or who we were going for. I'm going to start this time. I think I might be going against the grain here, but I'm rooting for Milan. Not rooting for, obviously, I'm unbiased, but I think Milan's going to have it because of a few different reasons. Some keys to success. One, Paola Egonu. You literally cannot bet against Paola Egonu in a Champions League final. She's won 3 of the 4 that she's been in, and she has a chance to get her 4th title in a 4th different jersey. She's won, I think, with Novara, Conegliano, Vakifag, and now potentially with Milan. She's the best opposite in the world, hands down, and she's been MVP every time that she won a Champions League. So betting against her to me is just illogical. So that's the first reason. Second, I think they have 2 fantastic middles in Foley and Redka. Redka has the most blocks in Champions League. She has 27. So that right there is enough to shut down what Conegliano throws at them. And then I think if they're able to force Asha Volosh away from setting Hawk, they're going to have some pretty good success. So it just depends on how well they're serving. But for me, I think Milan's got a good shot.
Okay. Also an interesting conversation of rest versus rust. Conegliano won the Italian League title last weekend. Milano hasn't played a match since losing in the semifinals to Scandicci almost a month ago. So they've had a lot of time to rest, get their bodies prepared, and download the Conegliano matchup and get ready for this one. And there's Brenda Castillo, one of the best liberos on the planet, entering the game here. I'm on the other side. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just was going to say, when it comes to rest as a player, and some of the players that come on later can speak about this too, you get a really big scouting report. So to have all that in your mind, to have 2 weeks to actually digest that and be able to follow it in the moment, those split-second differences can make all the difference. So fresh legs for Milan, fresh minds. Let's go.
And on the other side from them is the team that has completely dominated both Italian and really world volleyball over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. It is Imoco Conegliano, led by Daniele Santarelli. They are my pick to win this Champions League. I think this year is their turn. They were upset by Fenerbahce last year in the quarterfinals, a much earlier exit for them than they were used to. But this is the stat that blows me away, Key. Conegliano this year has won more trophies than they have lost matches. They have won 3 trophies this year. the Super Cup, the Italian Cup, and the Italian League title. And they have only lost 2 matches, one to Novara in the Lega Volley Femminile semifinal, one to Scandicci in the Lega Volley Femminile final. That is it. This team is the best coached team in the world. I think they have the best setter in the world. They have tremendous players at every position. They play the best together as a team, in my opinion. And they have Isabel Haak, who maybe she hasn't won 3 Champions Leagues like Egonu has, but she has beaten Paula Egonu once in a Champions League final before. It was 2 years ago in Vakifbank 2 times Conegliano. So Conegliano is my pick. We'll get into some more about what the teams have done this year and the history of the teams in Champions League and just the dominance of both Egonu individually and Conegliano as a team in kind of the current era of volleyball. As of course, we have to give credit to our officials. They have an interesting job to do to take care of these two teams that know each other quite well. And Key, as you know, unfortunately for your Milano prediction, Milano is 0-4 against Conegliano this season.
Yes, they are, which is not a great title to run on. But you know what? I think Conegliano have, in our minds, they are the most dominant team potentially in women's volleyball maybe ever. They're always setting records in terms of like, I think last year they had 100 wins in a row. This year they went up to 50 before that was broken. But they only have 1 Champions League title.
That's right.
And they won it when Egonu was wearing that jersey. So I don't know if it's maybe a mental block or something when it comes to the finals of this particular tournament. Sometimes they just fall a little bit short. So that's what I'm banking on in terms of my prediction.
Okay. So that is all the live from the arena footage that we can show you. We'll have the scoreboard live at the bottom of the screen throughout this broadcast. But again, if you want to watch the actual match itself, pick up a subscription to Eurovolley TV or the top tier subscription here to the YouTube channel. All the links you need for that are in the description of this video. As we take a look at what Conegliano has done this season, they are seeking their 2nd Champions League title. They won it in 2021, back when Paula Egonu wore that jersey. They were one of the only teams to go 6-0 in their group and not even miss a point, 18 points perfectly, and undefeated through the bracket. They beat Vakifbank 3-1, 3-1 in the quarterfinal. They beat Adzadjabasha 3-2, 3-1 in the semifinal. And like we said, they've already won 3 trophies this year, 2 of them over Milano in the Super Cup and the Coppa Italia domestically. And they won the Lega Volley Femminile title about a week ago, 3 matches to 1 over Scandicci in the final.
And foreshadowing, we might have some insight on that match coming up later in the show if you're a fan of Italian volleyball. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
And on the Milano side, they're seeking their 1st Champions League title. Their franchise, formerly known as Vero Volley Monza. They've won a CEV Challenge Cup. They have won a CEV Cup. They have not won a CEV Champions League. They're looking to complete the suite here. They won their group in preliminary play. They had Vakifbank in their group. They won that group with a 5-1 record. They beat LKS Łódź from Poland in the quarterfinal. They beat Fenerbahce in an all-time awesome classic golden set in the semifinal, which we'll certainly talk about the heroics of Alessia Oro playing on an injured ankle. But domestically, not the greatest season for Milan. Lost in the Super Cup and the Coppa Italia to Conegliano and got swept 0-6 in sets against Scandicci in the semifinals of the domestic league playoffs.
Look, when you put the stats out like that, you're making me look like I might not have a chance here.
Well, here's the thing, Keith. You always have a chance when, as we look at the screen now, you always have a chance in the Champions League final when Paula Egonu is on your team. This is the 5th year in a row Paula will play in the CEV Champions League SuperFinals. Like he said, this is her 4th different team. She is 3-1 all-time in Champions League SuperFinals, and you can see those results in the individual performances. 27 points with their first one in Novara, 41 in a win for Conegliano in 2021, 39 in Conegliano's loss to Vakifbank in 2022, and 40 in a 4-set match for Vakifbank last year as they took home another Champions League. And this year for Milano, how will she perform? We will see, because we are underway. The scoreboard is on your screen, and Conegliano is taking the first point.
First point was a long rally as well. I think it's too simplistic to say that one team is dominant in any one area than the others. I think Conegliano in general has such a well-rounded team that they're going to rely on every single player, which brings me to my very first point. We saw Sarah Farr walking in earlier, if you were watching the intro, on crutches, and she was going to be one of my players to keep an eye on because she's always been injured traditionally, but they've been using her heavily. However, not going to be in this match. Could that impact your prediction, Rob?
No, it will not. And the reason why is
Okay.
because Conegliano can now rely on Robin de Cruyff, who will get the
Mhm.
start today. She has been with Conegliano for going on 8 years. She is one of 3 players who has been with this franchise since the beginning of the Daniele Santarelli era, the other 2 being Joanna Volos, the best setter in the world, and Daniele Santarelli's wife, their starting libero, Monica De Gennaro. Those players have been with Conegliano for so long and have helped
Mhm.
establish this dynasty that Daniele Santarelli and this club have put together.
You know who they lost though is Raffaella Folli, who's on the other side, who's a former
Correct.
Conegliano middle, who's now on the other side. I think her performance tonight could also be very indicative of how Milano end up. I just can't stop watching now. My eyes are glued.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Oh,
That
wait,
is
lift.
that's still alive. Oh my goodness. This is an insane rally.
Was that not a lift by
I
Plummer?
suppose not. Ooh, a bump slide
Okay.
from the
Oh, bump
libero.
slide. Excellent try.
You don't see that every day.
Also,
And
that's another thing, a point that you make about those two having played together forever, the libero and De Cruyff on Conegliano's side. Like, you just would not set a bump set
no,
slide
you wouldn't.
unless you know that player so well.
And it didn't work out for him, but I do love the attempt. So, just to go over the starting lineups really quickly, like Key said, no Sarah Farr available with an ankle injury. So it's Robin de Cruyff and I believe Marina Lubian, who will start in the
Lubian.
middles for
Mhm.
Conegliano. The
Okay.
outside hitters will be the American duo of Kelsey Robinson Cook and Catherine Plummer. The libero will be Monica De Gennaro. The setter, of course, Joanna Volos. And the opposite, the great Swede Isabel Haak, under the leadership of Daniele Santarelli. And on the Milano side, Coach Marco Gaspari has chosen Alessia Oro at setter, Paola Egonu, of course, at opposite. Miriam Silla and Nika Dalderop get the starts at outside hitter. Dana Retke and I assume Rafaela Foley. Yeah, we saw her earlier. Retke and Foley in the middles, and the great Brenda Castillo at libero. Those are the starting sevens. Both teams very deep. Milano in particular has a lot of outside hitters that they like to use, so we'll see if they go to the bench for either a Kara Bajama or Elena Kazot, who has played a lot this Champions League.
I was going to say that first point, as soon as you said Dalderop is in the starting outside role, I feel like Kazot has been doing fantastic work in the outside spot. She's such a good ball handling outside and can really get through any kind of block. Her serve is incredible. She's got such good reception and stability in the backcourt, but she doesn't get the start. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I think Dalderup's been dealing with some kind of an health issue. Our buddy Louis Lett, who's there at Antalya commentating the games, was talking something about that in the pregame. But apparently,
Okay.
she's good enough to go. I'm curious about how long her leash is going to be. Does Gaspari quickly go to the bench if Dalderup isn't playing well, or give her more latitude to get into the game a little bit? And she sets Egonu there, which is always an excellent decision. I think that ball was in bounds. Yeah, it was. So a
Yeah.
lot
So
of familiarity between the two teams for sure. Key, you mentioned Foley, the former Conegliano player, as is Miriam Silla and Paula Egonu both. All 3 of those players now representing Milano have won a Champions League for Conegliano 3 years ago.
And that's what makes it even more interesting to me. I think players at this level are always sort of switching teams and finding, just finding the best contract, and that's naturally going to happen. I think it's unusual when players stay for a long, long time, like you said, Robin de Cruyff has done for Conegliano or Asha Volosh now. But yeah, that if anyone knows how to stop a Conegliano team, it's a former Conegliano player.
Right. And of course, Paula Egonu herself, it seems like this is just the one competition, the one format where she is truly at her greatest. I mean, an average of 40 points a match. Her last 3 Champions League finals is the most ridiculous stat ever.
Insane.
She's gotten here so consistently with 3 different teams, now 4 different teams, has won 3 of her previous 4. But also another storyline is the direct relationship and overlap between Paula Egonu and Isabel Haak. They've
Yeah.
now played each other. This is their 3rd time playing against each other head to head in the Champions League final. The first when Paula beat Isabel in the 2021 final when Conegliano beat Vakif. Then the 2022 final when they switched teams and
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. That was the following year. Am I making that up?
Wait,
No,
sorry.
that was correct. They were on the same teams, my bad, in 2022 when Hawk for Vakif beat Egonu on Conegliano. Then it was the year after when they switched teams and Egonu went to Vakif and won. Well, and then now they match up again here in the final with Hawk playing back or Egonu, excuse me, playing back in the Italian league. Sorry, that was a lot of information. There's been a lot of interesting overlap in the timelines between those two players in particular.
Yeah, and I think a lot rides on both of them for each team. They're both used heavily as every opposite is, but certainly you can possibly say whichever one has the better day at the office is the team that wins when it comes to Hawk and Agano. That's how drastically they can shift things for their team. Also,
Yeah.
did we just see Far come in and set? Or sorry, not set, obviously not set. Come in and serve.
Serve?
I thought we called her out as injured and not playing today.
That would surprise me greatly. I saw her walking into the arena on crutches today.
Yeah, I maybe my brain is just doing something.
There's a
Just going
transition kill
somewhere
for
else,
Paola Egonu when Milano digs balls, which they will. They have Brenda Castillo, who's incredible. That one a good dig by Scylla. They have the greatest outlet in all of volleyball to just chuck the ball to and try and score out of system and Paola Egonu, and that's why she racks up so many points in matches like this. Ooh, another nice dig, Chance. Beautiful run. I love that run. Shifting Hawk in off the sideline to run sort of that more traditional pipe ball. Yeah,
Yeah, you
Louis
gotta
just saying
find
run this
her.
in different areas. Louis and us are always on the same page, you know?
I mean, if you've played volleyball at any level and you're a fan of it, you start to see the game differently than just the first time watcher. And you're exactly right. Anytime that the setter can shift zones of the net, she's making the blockers on the other side move and think about that. So especially when you're going up against some incredible blockers, I don't know who's up right now. I'm guessing Foley.
Yeah,
Or no, it's
Foley,
Retke,
Daldrop,
excuse
and
me.
Egonu, I believe, are in at the very moment. But yeah, Retke is the biggest player on either team as a
You have
huge
to make
force
a
in the
move.
middle.
Yeah, you have to make a move. You can't just play traditional outside, middle, right side. You have to start creating zones on the net that didn't even exist before.
Absolutely. And while we have a moment in this first challenge, as it's 11-7 Conegliano, we can talk about Conegliano and just what I like to call the greatness of Conegliano under Daniele Santarelli, because this is the best franchise, I would say, in all of volleyball, men's or women's. I really believe that.
Ooh, that's big.
They have had
Big call, Rob St. Clair.
an unparalleled amount of success. The only team that I think even comes close is like the Wilfredo Leon Zenit Kazan era in the mid 2010s. But what Conegliano has done since Daniele Santarelli has gotten there in the 2017 to 18 season, they have won 7 of the last 8 Lega Volley Femminile League titles, including 6 in a row. They've won 5 Italian Cups in a row. They've won 6 Italian Super Cups in a row. In the last 3 Club World Championships they've played, they've won 2. And this is now their 4th Champions League Super Final appearance in the last 5 seasons. It is true they've only won 1 of those previous ones. And then, like I said earlier, the ridiculous stat is that this season alone, Conegliano has won more trophies than they've lost matches. That is remarkable.
That's an insane stat. So that's what I mean when we talk about in volleyball, even without knowing all of these stats and everything they've won. In my mind, Conegliano is the most dominant team in women's volleyball. But I love to hear you say possibly even in men's volleyball too, or anywhere in the world, not just in Europe, not just in Italy. Like they just, and what is it that they do so well? Because they have such a well-rounded team, and even if they're losing Egonu, bringing in another player, they're still getting these kind of numbers. What are they doing? That's the
There's
question. What do
a
they do
lot of
so
things.
well?
One, I think they're just a great franchise and organization, top to bottom, ownership, president, management, coaching, and then players. All of it, they're so in sync at every level. And then they happen to employ, in my opinion, by far the greatest volleyball coach on the planet. There is nobody in the world coaching volleyball on either gender side like Daniele Santarelli. He is unbelievable, unparalleled advantage to have him on your team. He won a world championship with the Serbian national team 2 years ago, gets the job with the Turkish national team last year, and completely dominates. They're far and away the best national team in the world. And just the ridiculous run that Conegliano has been on under his leadership is something special. And a lot of it is like we were talking about in the men's game, Key, is the consistency of the roster that they've had. You never see a club volleyball team with 3 players for 7 straight years. Like that just doesn't happen. And De Cruyff, Voos, and De Gennaro have been mainstays for this team the entire time, the entire duration of the Santarelli run, and that continuity really goes a long way.
And meanwhile, as we were talking, I realized that the mics are now working in the timeouts.
Oh,
so
we
I
get
was
to hear
trying
the
to listen in
coaches.
a little bit. Yeah, I was trying to listen in there, but obviously they'll probably be in Italian, so I'll need extra focus if I want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
But next,
you're our Italian guru, at least compared to me, Key. I'm useless in that area.
I mean, guru is not the word, but look at that. Okay, De Cruyff.
Yep.
Did she have a huge serving run? Am I imagining that? Am I confusing her? She had a huge serving run in the last match. I think she got like 5 aces in the last match.
Wow.
That they
Well,
played.
here's an early answer to one of our questions, Key. How long of a leash will Nika Daldrop have? The answer is not very long. She is already to the bench. Helena Cazot of France, who will represent her country at home in the Olympics this summer, is in at outside hitter. She's number 1 in blue for those of you watching the match as well, which I hope everybody is.
Yeah, I'd feel really bad if everyone's just watching us talk about this match and not actually watching it at the same time.
There are links in the description to watch this match in 2 different ways, Eurovolley TV or YouTube with the subscription. And Paula Egonu answers with an ace serve of her own.
Oh man, I want to have a look at this. Where's it go? And she's going for Maki De Gennaro into the corner.
Flawless.
I mean, if you're targeting anywhere on the court, that would not be the player I would be targeting in terms of Conegliano. But she doesn't care. She's a honey badger of volleyball. She just does what she wants.
She honestly, when you're a server like that, I don't even think you pick a target. I don't think you care who you serve at. You go up and you hit your best serve, and you challenge whoever is behind it to try and receive it. When you have float servers that are trying to be a little more targeted, then they're going to pick on, I think, and this is a good time to talk about it. I think both teams have one of their outside hitters that is traditionally the service target. For Milano, it's Miriam Silla. She's going to be the one getting the most passing attempts.
Yeah, for
She's going to really be challenged to receive. And for Conegliano, it's Catherine Plummer. And both of those players' ability to pass the ball is going to be huge here. That one from Silla, not very good on that play.
Perfect example of it. Yeah, Silla. I remember I even played against her way back in the day. And I remember thinking at the time, she's so hot and cold. She can be an absolute black hole in terms of reception or defense or even just hitting blindly into the block. However, she also can be incredible. She's so athletic. She can swing and jump so high. So if she's having a good day, good things for Milan. But if she's not, Conegliano will certainly be going after her. Okay, we got timeout. Let's listen in.
I could not really hear Marco Gaspari at all on that timeout, Key. I don't know about you.
All right, what I got, paraphrasing, because I hate when commentators would be like, oh, he said this, that, and the other. And I'm like, he did not say that at all. But what from the bit that I got is he's saying, look, I need us to be a little bit smarter with the out of system balls. If you don't have the ball to swing on it, tips and rolls, find that deep shot. He was also like, it's the first set. The match is not decided yet. Let's get into our rhythm.
Well, that rhythm's getting pretty hard to establish here. Conegliano is on a massive run. It is 18-10. And Catherine Plummer is just shredding the block with off speed right now. A couple tips in a row that have found the floor.
However, I was trying to think, one of these two teams lost their first few sets. I think it was Conegliano in the semifinals and came back. Milan certainly came back with that golden set against Fenerbahce. So certainly not a team that you can count out.
Yeah, both of them had pretty incredible semifinals. Let's see, we can put them back up on the screen here. Conegliano was against a great series against Zaja Basha in the semis. Those were two pretty competitive games, especially the first match, which Conegliano needed to win in 5.
And they lost the first 2 sets. That's I think that what I was thinking of. They lost the first 2 sets against Zaja Basha and came back.
And then Milano had an all-time crazy semifinal against Fenerbahce. They won the first leg at home 3-0, but then they lost on the road 1-3 to force a golden set and won it 15-11 in Istanbul with Alessia Oro, who had just suffered a pretty severe ankle injury 4 days before, with a warrior performance to step up and play that match and will her team to a Champions League final. And there we go. Here's some service pressure. Elena Cazot there picks up an ace working on Catherine Plummer. But tell me about Alessia Oro, Key, and just like what it is that she accomplished and showed her team by playing on that hurt ankle in the semis.
Well, if you watched it and you saw her face after the match, because she literally fell to the ground, her back against the pole for the volleyball net, and tears start coming down her face because, oh wait, can we come back to that because we got another timeout?
Yeah,
I want to listen
absolutely.
in English.
Yeah, a
Pretty
little
relaxed
little
there.
bit of both languages in that timeout from Santarelli.
Yeah, he's saying we can put the ball wherever we want. Don't be too stressed about anything. So that was in English, so no need to translate. But I think the fact that Alessia Oro played through that injury, she then, I think you told me this, that she then took a couple of weeks off to
Yeah, she
recover
did.
after, but had to get her team into this. And then they had to come back in that match in a golden set. They were completely crushed in the first set. So the grit and the drive and just the leadership that showed, I mean, if they don't come out firing today in lieu of that, in honor of that performance, then I think it'd be a huge shame.
And wow, Key, sure enough, I am shocked by this, but Sarah Farr is in the front court playing for Conegliano right now.
She was on crutches,
I know.
unless we mistook and it was somebody else. That is that possible that we
No,
thought it was?
I'm almost certain it was her, but I mean, whatever ankle magic Alessia Oro got in the semifinals, maybe Farr got some of the same here to play the final. I'm really surprised. I was not expecting her to play.
Yeah. She's had some really unlucky seasons in terms of injuries. I think in the amount of time that I've been following volleyball, she's been injured more often than she's been healthy.
Yeah, she had 2 very serious knee injuries, but since coming back at the beginning of this year, she's been brilliant. It's great to see her at least mostly healthy. I hope that continues, especially for the Italian national team this summer.
And I guess that's credit to her, right? That's why teams keep signing her. Even when she's injured, she was signing contracts. And I remember thinking, why would you sign an injured player or a player that barely ever plays? Well, that's why. She's this good.
She's that good whenever she is
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at 14-19 on the score. Is that what you have, Key?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what I have. And
We're
then
making
another point for Milan.
15. Yeah, Farr thought that was in bounds. She's got her hand taped up in a big way too. She's she's practically a cyborg out there. All the
Who is it? Oh, Thaisa
from Brazil.
from Brazil that has always got all kinds of gear on.
And we got a challenge on this, I assume by Santarelli. I wonder if he's looking at block touch or ball in or out. I guess we'll see.
Probably just relying on whatever the team told him. I mean, I've seen at this stage, now that the challenge has been around for long enough, players just need to be honest with, oh, that's
That
such a
ball's
good call.
in so barely. Oh my goodness, that's so close.
That's so good.
Wow.
Wait, such a good call to tell their coach to take that challenge. I mean, could have gone a hair the other direction.
Wow.
Okay,
And
so
now
now she's
Marina
out for the
Lubyan's gonna
serve.
come in and
Mm.
serve because Lubyan's serve is absolutely vicious. She has this nasty, like, two-hand toss, hits it hard like a hybrid. It's pretty sick. So we'll see if she can keep it in bounds here. But 1 or 2 serves and this first set's over. Oh yeah. Even Brenda Castillo could barely handle that.
Mhm.
And then Scylla hits it out of bounds. Yep, that's an outstanding work by Santarelli and Lubyan to do her job. Coming off the bench, serve a great ball, and you get a point from it.
And I think people underestimate how difficult that is. If
Oh,
you
it's so
have
hard.
not played a single point yet in the match, which I don't think she's been on yet, and to be brought on, it's not a high pressure situation. They're pretty well ahead, but just to do the serve, you're cold, your shoulder's a little cold, you haven't really measured the net recently. I mean, It's a big ask to get some aces there.
Very, very hard to do. Also, we got Alessia Gennari in at outside hitter for Catherine Plummer for Conegliano, which is a substitution they use a lot and one that I like because Plummer is so big and amazingly physical, and her reception and ball control is much improved. But when she's in the back court and you don't plan to set her very much, sure, give Gennari a trip through the back court to just take away any potential serving targets. And that is another error. Oh, no, never mind. That ball's touched by Fur Foley. So a kill there.
Foley, another player who's overcome a bunch of injuries. And I'm always more impressed by the older players that go through the injuries and then come back to play. Because at a certain point, you might just say, all right, my body is worn out. I'm done. I move on. I'm going to do something else. But to fight and rehab your way back in when you're already in your 30s, how old is Foley?
Foley's probably early or mid 30s, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I've got her as 33.
Okay.
Still young buck.
And another thing that we talked about, Key, in the men's match earlier that applies to Conegliano as well. Ooh, challenge here. That is not touched. That ball is out of bounds, just over the fingertips of De Cruyff. A thing that I like to bring up is, like we talked about with Trentino, Alessandra Micheletto and Daniele Lavia, those two outside hitters, they play club together, they play a national team together, they play all their volleyball together. They are like that starting outside duo. They have so much chemistry and familiarity with one another in reception that that really matters a lot. And Conegliano has the same thing with the American duo, Kelsey Robinson Cook and Catherine Plummer. They pass together all season. They're going to pass together all summer on the national team. And that chemistry really, really matters a lot with fighting off good servers. And
they also travel together.
Yes,
they also travel together. I've seen photos of them in Venice together and going out and boating together. So you're exactly right, that chemistry.
Oh, wow. A massive set clinching block from Kelsey Robinson Cook on Egonu. And that is a clinic. 25-14.
Ooh,
my goodness.
I think we might have another 3-setter on our hand if this keeps up. And especially on Egonu, who's the one player you'd think could get through that block.
Man, what a great move by Kelsey Robinson Cook as well. She's not the biggest or not the most dominant blocker in the game, but that was awesome.
Yeah, she does it. She's always disciplined, though. You'll never see her. She's never one of those players that's just giving your hands or going straight up and reaching around. She'll just take her space. Excellent work. Well, there you go. One down.
Okay, one down. We have the stat report ready to go from the first set. I also want to put a message out to either of our two special guests. If they're still online with us and they're still listening, we are ready to bring in one of you if you want to turn your camera and your microphone on. But let's look at the stat report here. Milano, I'm expecting not very good hitting numbers. Oh, man, sure enough. Their entire team, Key, 5 kills on 27 attack attempts and 7 errors. Their entire team is hitting negative. Only 5 kills in a set is remarkably low.
Well, if that's the case, it can only go up. Like, there's no way that Milan can play worse than that, right? So that's probably what the coach would be saying in the timeout. Look, all right, we know we're better than this. The pressure might be getting to us, but let's just turn it around. But I mean,
you are right about that.
Cannot get worse than that. Yeah, I'm having a look as well. Hawk on the other side, 7 points. Where are all those aces? Oh, Gennari, no. Lubian got an ace. De Cruyff got an ace. So those are coming from the unexpected. Those aren't even the big, the players that are typically getting those big numbers. Hawk still no aces in her up her sleeve, but I'm sure she's got plenty. Excellent start for Conegliano. No surprise there.
No surprise there. Yeah, that team is very good. All right. Hey, our one of our special guests is ready to go. Can you hear us? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear us? Okay, I think she just unmuted her microphone. I think we are live to introduce a very special guest. Ekaterina Antropova, can you hear us?
Yay!
Yep, I do. Can
and
you
we
hear
hear you. Yes, fantastic.
Perfect.
All right. Welcome
Hi,
to the
hello.
show. My name is Rob. That is Key. It's a pleasure to introduce Ekaterina Antropova, the setter, or not the setter, the opposite from the Italian national team, and from Savio Del Bene Scandici, who has a lot of familiarity with both of these Champions League teams that are in the finals. Ekaterina, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It's for now I've been watching the game on my own with my family, so I am very ready to discuss it with you.
Fantastic. And we know that you have about the best amount of information on both of these teams of anybody in volleyball, because you and Scandici had an excellent season. You played against both of these two teams in the domestic Italian league playoffs. You beat Milano 2-0 in matches, 6-0 in sets in the semis, and you took a match from Conegliano. You're one of two teams to beat them all season. Although Conegliano did win the final in 4, but you have a lot of information about these teams that I'm excited to talk about. First of all, what were your impressions on that first set, Ekaterina? It was very convincing for Conegliano, in my opinion.
Yeah, for now I think we're seeing a lot of like Conegliano at their best as we're used to see them, and Milano a little bit struggling to find their rhythm yet. And I think the most difference was the amount of errors, like the number of errors. It's because we know with Conegliano, if you make a direct error point, it's like it's very difficult to be on the same level as them.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. That is not a team that you can afford to give free points to.
Yeah, you already struggle to fight against them if like you make points like for your team, so not giving freebies to them. So that's.
Is there something you can give us some insight in terms of when you do your scouting report, or your coach, I guess, gives you a scouting report against both of these two teams? But let's start with Conegliano. What is it that your coach is saying? Here's who we're going to target and serve. Here's what we're going to block on Hawk. Like, what are some strategies that your coach is giving you to try and help win?
Oh, with Conegliano, like yeah, I absolutely do. It's very hard to forget because I had this scouting report for a long time. To target on serve, I think with great reception line, it's definitely Plummer, because if you can get her a little off her rhythm with the reception, like with your serves, you can also a little bit help with the attack, because it's obviously it's not easy to receive a lot of balls and also be very efficient in the attack. So that is a little bit of a strategy, but I think Santarelli also uses this strategy to sub her out. So it becomes a little more challenging. But yeah, the most important thing is to serve strong. How easy it sounds, but it's the most important part is to serve strong and avoid Maki, because if you serve on Maki de Gennaro, as we saw, it's almost an end game. Like, it's very hard to ace that.
Absolutely. Her reception numbers were ridiculous in the whole Italian playoffs. It was basically impossible to serve her. Otherwise, it was a guaranteed point. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And it goes the same with Brenda. It goes either way, because I remember, especially during the games in the championship, I was like, okay, I'm gonna serve this strong serve. Because I usually go in the big zones, and I go and I serve like with all my strength, and I see the perfect pass, and I'm like, oh my god, and then it will drive me crazy, because I know how I can serve, and like for me, if I get a little like off my game, without like making good serves or helping my team, I will struggle after. So that was definitely hard on me.
Well, we just saw it a couple points ago in the game when Paola Egonu served. She targeted Plummer. She forced an overpass. Milano got the ball back. They set it right to Egonu, who scored easily. Like, that is the formula for them, in my opinion. I think they have to serve crazy tough. They have to try and get the ball back. They have to try and pressure Catherine Plummer. And then when you can set Paola Egonu to get you some points, great. Do it.
Yes, absolutely. And also, I think with Conegliano, the key is like, when you, as always, as easy as it sounds, but it's not. When you have the possibility to make a point, if you have a free ball or if you have an overpass, you need to make it the first try you get. Because if it gets in a long rally, or they're so used to it, or they're so good in the defensive plays, so you need to get it as as soon as possible.
So take advantage of it when you do have an opportunity. Overpass, free ball, something simple. You have to take care of those. Those basics have to be a given point.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, Ekaterina, tell us about Milano and their outside hitters, because this is something that I'm curious about for them. They have 4 very good outside hitters. They use a lot of them. Miriam Silla is the one that plays the most often and the most consistently, but we saw Nika Dalderop start the match today, and then she got substituted out midway through the first set for Elena Cazot, who I personally really like. I also like her ability to serve. She's one of the tougher servers in Italy. Her jump spin serve can put on a lot of pressure. So what are you seeing so far with this match, and just in having played against Milano, about the combo of Silla and Cazot on the outsides?
Yeah, with Milano, the most difficult part was that they have so many outsides that play, as you said, consistently. So you need to kind of study them all, and to know when they got subbed out, like what to do with them. So it's a lot of information, and yeah, they're all pretty different, because you get the Kazod, who drives me crazy to block her, to be honest, because she has a very great technique. So she'll use you. If she makes a point with the set on me, I'm mad for at least half of the set, because you're like, oh my god, stop it, please. And you'll jump like crazy, be like this over the net, like, yeah, I'm gonna block her, and then she uses you like here, and you're like, no, that's not fair. Don't do that.
But
So
I think that's what makes her such a strong player, right? Because you look at her and physically she's not particularly domineering. She's a little bit smaller. She's, but those are the kind of players that I think are actually the toughest, because they go under the radar. And then you're blocking way over the net, I'm sure, and she'll just boop right around you, right underneath you.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that noise again, Key? One more time.
Boop. I know. I've been there. I'm one of the taller players too. I got used all day long, left, right, and center by the smaller hitters.
The most annoying part is that you're like, oh my god, I got it. It's just like when you get used, it's drives you crazy. Like, at least for me, it's very annoying. Like, oh my god. It's not just the point, like if someone spikes over me, or like, I don't know, Belak does an incredible attack, or I don't know, you're like, oh, okay, it's a great ball, that's a great point. And if someone is, you're like, I can't.
Okay,
so
speaking of Bella Hack and also Agano at the same time, and I feel like you're probably one of these players too that frustrates other people, but how do you stop them? Because they are literally working on a different plane than some of the blockers. So if they're hitting at a height, Mickey Leto is another player we just saw for the men's side. Here are the blockers, and here's where they're hitting. So how do you stop them?
Yeah, at least our strategy was to try to block at least like one trajectory of the ball. You need to choose. You cannot block everything. You cannot stop them like all balls. You need to choose something that you want to sacrifice. Like, speaking like this, for example, we were leaving a little more of a line for Bella, because it's also a little trickier shot to do. She's obviously she got some incredible kills on us, and at least you're like, okay, she's less likely to hit it, maybe because the ball is also a little bit short, because they try to play fast, or it's not that high. So for line, it's a little like it requires a little more for a little more factors to be there. So we're like, okay, we'll leave a little bit of line, or sometimes be like, okay, middle blocker, you'll need to open on this ball or not. Like, you need to make this little choices, so you can at least, like, if they make a mistake of trying to spike that ball or not that great height, or not trying to go over, you're like, okay, we at least got that one. So and try to help.
So it becomes like a numbers game. Statistically, she hits more often. She hits here. She absolutely can hit here and here and here and here. But we're going to take away her favorite shots, and just, if she gets the other ones, just give her the clap and move on.
Yeah, sometimes with players like that, also, like the shot that Agona just hit just now. She just hit a ridiculous cross-court shot from position 2 to position 2 that you just can't really stop that. And sometimes when she hits those shots, great, good for her. Congratulations. Yeah. We'll move on to the next point.
Do you see that up by Oro as well? That defensive play, and that's why she's such a good setter. We talked about the same thing with Tony Uti. Maybe weaknesses in the block, but she's there for the defense as well and keeping those plays alive. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're at 11-8 now. Milan on the comeback trail. We talked about that and how in the semifinals against, they played Fenerbahce and came back in that golden set. So I don't know. Do you have a do you have a prediction, Kate, on which way this game is going to go?
Ooh. Oh, it's hard. I just hope to see a lot of volleyball. So I don't know if I hope for them to get in 5 or just in 4, it's fine. But because the fifth set is always, you're like, oh, you don't know which way it goes. It's the most unpredictable one. So
that's what's crazy is you can go neck and neck the whole way, and it could come down to just 2 points, and somebody wins and somebody loses.
The entire season. Yep.
Yeah.
Volleyball. Our sport is crazy.
It's the best. I love it so much.
That's why we love it, for sure.
God.
Yeah, much better start here for Milano. I was just about to ask Ekaterina, do you have the game on? And if so, like, what is the score at for you, to see if we are about in alignment about what we're watching?
I think I'm a little bit behind you, but I just saw it's 12-9 now.
Okay.
I have 13-9.
We just saw Paula get a kill off the block for 13-9.
And I love that she recycled that as well. So she had that first ball tight, pushes it into the block, goes again. That's when you talk about the best players in the world, they have to be able to recognize when that ball is not there for hitting. And I think that's what the coach was talking about in that timeout before. Hey, if it's not there, let's see some tips and rolls and deep pushes and recycles. Don't just swing blindly, which Agano does so much better than her younger days. She's improved drastically at that.
All right, we got a big one-on-one block by Dana Retke in the middle. That'll certainly help. She got far one-on-one.
Yeah, the thing with recycling, like for me also now, it's still like it's really hard to know when you're like, oh, okay, that ball wasn't the perfect one, so I shouldn't go my whole whole strength, whole force. And also to have you need to be very there mentally, because if you're, I don't know, if you're tired, if you're exhausted, you won't make those decisions, because you'll be like, okay, I'll go with my eyes closed and hit the most shot I'm used to. So.
Yeah, you just want the point to be over when you're tired, and that's when you see more and more players starting to just make silly, well, you say silly, but like trying to make difficult things happen.
Mistakes born of fatigue and exhaustion. Yeah, that definitely happens. So an update on the game. It's a timeout for Conegliano. They're down by 6. This is a very impressive run for Milan. They put in Adu Malawal, the backup opposite, to serve, I think, for Foley. And then they got the one-on-one block from Retke, and then Malawal got an ace right on the baseline. So we could be headed for 1-1 here if Conegliano doesn't have an answer.
Man,
they're also pretty good at comebacks.
Yes, they are.
Just I say that, but yeah, for now we have Milan absolutely in a game. They're back.
And that's wild to think how that first set went, and it seemed like it was just going to be a complete wash. If you just watched the first set, you'd be like, "Oh, Conegliano's got this in the bag," and now it's completely flip-flopped.
And there's another pass put down. Yeah, so that's the incredible part about volleyball, and I'm impressed with the mental composure of Milano, because sometimes after you get destroyed in a first set like that, you have 2 choices in between. You can continue to feel the effects of getting destroyed, or you can somehow figure out a way to start the next set completely even in terms of momentum. And they've done that. They've done a good job forgetting the emotional effect of what happened in the first. And now they've done such a good job of putting pressure on Catherine Plummer that she's been substituted out. Kalia Lanier is in, and then another ace for Malawal just now in between the 2 of them.
Another one.
Wow.
That's so good. And was it right between? Yeah, so between. Kelsey Robinson-Cook has tried to step in and help Kalia, and they play together in the national team as well for USA. But that conflict zone right there is such a good spot. Goes for it again. Same spot.
Okay, first kill for Lanier. Kalia Lanier is an interesting player. Her father's name is Bob Lanier. He is a Hall of Fame NBA basketball player. He's
which explains why she has hops like that.
Yep. Yeah, she's a great athlete. I loved her coming over from the NCAA. Played at Bergamo for a few years. Now has been valuable off the bench for Conegliano this year. Hey, Ekaterina, have you played against Kalia Lanier this year? Has she played very much against you guys?
Yeah, a little bit, but I remember her more last year when she was in Bergamo. So yeah, in Bergamo she was the go-to player, obviously, because she was really getting. I still remember her sharp cross.
Oh yeah.
That one, it's really hard to forget.
Okay, now that right there from Isabel Hawk is one of those shots that you simply can't stop because she just went straight over the top of Helena Cazot.
Yeah.
And there's
Yes.
just nothing you can do about that. Sometimes great offense beats perfectly good defense.
And you can't
Yeah,
teach
but
height.
the crazy part for me, sorry, is that Miriam, like she's there.
Yeah.
I think she got one of the most incredible reading of the game, like the skill of reading the game. She's almost the half of the point. If she doesn't get them, like she's there. She's like literally, I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, her
I feel
volleyball
like that's
IQ
an
is very high.
Italian. That's kind of an Italian asset as well, isn't it? Players start playing volleyball in Italy pretty much when they're born. So compared to a lot of other nations, maybe Brazil's on par, maybe Poland's getting up there, but anywhere else, you kind of learn volleyball when you're fully grown, when you're maybe 15, 16. But in Italy, you're learning it straight as soon as you can walk. So those kind of skills and that volleyball IQ, it's embedded in these players from day one. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I know that I started pretty early. I think like not since I could walk, obviously, but I was watching a lot of volleyball. In my family, it is a thing. I started when I was 7, so it was.
Wow.
It is pretty. Russia, it was like an age when you start to choose sports. Obviously, I was doing something before because that's thank God because now I'm pretty good coordinated. They say so. Yeah.
I agree. I think you're pretty coordinated.
I'd say yeah. I'd say take that one off the map. Put that in your resume. Coordinated. Yeah, which is harder for taller players. I mean, yeah, certainly. And that's why the story of Michieletto is so fascinating to us because I don't know if you know this, Kate, that Alessandro Michieletto was in 2016 the same height as his libero, and then 4 years later he shot up to 7 foot or something. But he still has those skills of a shorter player, those kind of ball control skills, which taller players sometimes are lacking.
Yeah, I know he also played as libero.
Yes,
so
he did.
That is also crazy.
Yeah.
But you can see it.
Yeah. Oh.
We just saw another really big, really good block. Yeah, Kelsey Robinson Cook on Egonu again, which is not something I would have
solo
expected.
as well. Yeah.
So yeah, this second set definitely not over. Timeout Milano. They're up by 4, but I feel the momentum shifting back a little bit.
I think a 4-point lead is probably enough to get them over the line. However, the momentum shift, like you mentioned, could bleed over into the next set. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has it. I was just thinking this because for me, like if I see the score and it's 17-13 and I'm like, okay, that's pretty big gap. But if it's like 18-14, I don't feel this way. I'm like, okay, 18-14, we can make it. I don't know if it's just my thing or sometimes also like the same number of points, but with the certain numbers, it feels like, oh my God, that's so much. And I was like, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I get that. Like my example is I think 21-18 is not very much. I think like that comeback is very doable.
Yes.
But if it's 22-19, that makes a huge difference. I think that's way more.
Oh. Well, the closer you get to the end line, the less time you have to come back.
That's true, but it's the same deficit. It just like feels different to me. So Khalil Lanier has been going on a very good service run. Retke just ended it, and then Egonu served one way out of bounds. So this is 18-15. That's one of those scores when it could get real interesting.
Yeah, there we go. 18-15. I'm like, okay, we're getting it. We're there.
Yeah. No worries. They've got this. Okay, another serving sub.
Ooh, this is Bardaro, the backup libero, right?
Oh.
I've seen her come in this role a few times to serve for one of the middles, and she's a very good defender.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she's on there more
pretty
defense.
Pretty good digs on us.
Which is why I like that swing from Retke so much, because she turned it away from the good defender, hit it back across her body towards Volos.
who also is a fantastic defender. So
Yes, she
there's
is.
not really an easy option there. But I think also she's looking at the block, and I think De Cruyff is also taking away that zone 5. So great, just great change up.
Ooh, a rare error there from Hawk going too sharp cross court.
Set a little tight, little inside. At least a little tight, maybe not inside. Well, yeah. A little tight and a little inside. She had to really kind of like long jump for it. How do you handle those, Kate, when those balls do die a little inside or they're really tight? Are you thinking I'm going to go for it anyway, or are you kind of thinking, okay, I should tip this?
I think it depends like how much time you have, because it's literally it's split second and you're like, oh, it's short, but because also they play so fast.
Yeah.
And I think it's so much harder. Like you need to be, that's what I was talking about. Like this balls, you're like, oh, maybe try to see a little block a little more. But yeah, if you could, you will just like you tip or you recycle. But I think it's so fast. And you also like if you go with your full approach, like, oh my God, I'm gonna crush it, it's also harder.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, and are you there? And you're like, it's so hard to be like, oh, okay, I'll tip.
Yeah, once you're already full steam ahead.
Okay, Miriam Silla is officially in the game. This swing that she just took just here, straight over 2 blockers, deep cross court. That is a very, very good sign for Milano.
Yeah, that one I say is one of her favorites. Like this one, it's really the deep corner of 5, or also like this one was more 6-5, but oof. Yeah, that one it's the same as the. Oh, I'm behind. I'm so left out.
Are you watching all of our facial expressions go? Ooh, ah!
You might be just barely behind.
I'm the same. Like,
did you
should
see
we pause
Volo
it?
block that ball? That was amazing.
No, okay, you can spoil it for me.
No.
Key, let's do a synchronized pause like we did last time.
Okay, tell us what you're seeing right now, Kat, and we'll pause and we'll wait till we catch up.
The action is just finished with the block of Asha, and now I see the replay. There's the start of the replay.
Start of the replay.
Yep. Okay. Okay, now I see Kelly serving.
Okay, Key, you ready to pause?
Yeah, I was pausing to catch up.
Oh, great.
All right,
okay.
let's all start again. Let us know when it. Okay. Okay, it's just gone.
You really want to? Oh my God, you really want
It's just gone 18:21. So tell me exactly when the score ticks over to 18:21, and I'll press play.
Yeah, it is 18:21. They just finished the incredible rally.
Okay, good. Good.
Now
I'm gonna be behind. Now. I'm just seeing it gone tip in the replay. Great cover.
But are you guys like all over the place?
Are you seeing the replay right now that just ended? And someone's about to serve?
Nope, I'm already at the point. I'm on the point 19. No, 22. Sorry, which Miriam just took a great swing.
Yeah, that's where I am as well.
Point 22. Okay, someone's about to serve.
Yep.
It's Oro.
Yeah. Okay.
We're pretty.
I tried to catch up with you, but if I refresh, it's still a little far back. But okay, we're there.
Okay, I think we're pretty close.
Oh, good tip.
Oh my goodness. A gigantic monster block from Paula Egonu. Whoa.
No, you're ahead of us, Rob. You're ahead of us.
Really?
Yep, you are.
Dang it. Okay, I'll pause for a bit.
Oh, nice.
It's so hard to get all together. Wait until you see this block.
Yeah.
No, I think we're in the replay of the block.
Wow.
Yeah. When she can get the hands on there, like she really goes like on the other side.
Oh.
That is
huge. Yeah, see, Milan is they're in this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good swing, Hawk. I want to know the stats, the live stats.
Yeah, I wish we had live stats. I'll have to wait until the set is over to refresh them that you'll be able to see on the screen, at least the people watching. But clearly significantly better. I mean, Key, you said it after the first. Milano couldn't have played worse than that. Only up from there, and sure enough, their offenses looked substantially better.
Yeah, I think that might have been a bit of nerves for them, and now they're feeling a lot more relaxed and just sort of trying to play their game. Might have been the excitement of the moment. Oh, wait, ace or error?
That was an ace. Lubian is a
Lubian.
Oh, it was. It was.
Katarina, can you tell us about Marina Lubyan's serve? Because it's so unique. It's so different with the
Oh,
way
it's
that she
so good.
tosses it and the way she hits it.
Yeah, I think it depends how she hits, like how she contacts the ball, because sometimes it'll have like a little more rotation, but like this one, she really like it was almost floating. I wouldn't say like mine. No, they're different. Like, but it was almost floating with a little rotation at the end. But also hers. I'm not a receiver, but sometimes I got a chance to like try to do a reception on her, and sometimes they will just drop. So they'll draw a little curve and then just drop at the end. And also, I think they're so long. Like usually they fall almost on the end line.
Yeah.
So it's like you got also, I think, almost not the same thing. Oh, I don't know. The comments are probably gonna hate me, but it's the same direct. I'm not saying it's the same serve. She's a great player. Okay, but I am saying this. Like the serve, it goes really deep on your chest, like Karina's serve. But her
Mm.
serve is great. She's an excellent player. She's incredible. But it's just the way the serve goes. It's like hits you here, and it's really hard to make something out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, and she makes you make a decision, right? So she's searching for that end line. So the players have to either just back themselves and say it's in or it's out. But it's so easy to make the wrong decision. I think that's why she's getting a lot of aces, because it's just tagging that end line.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you don't have that much. Ooh, almost there. You also need to choose the side, because you cannot receive front because it's so high, and you need to get like this was one of the hardest parts of the reception for me when I tried to get in there a little bit. It's like the split-second decision of right left. Like, what do I do? I don't know how they do this. It's
Ooh.
crazy.
Okay, Milano has a set point. I thought that Egonu may have just gotten the touch there. We'll see if
No,
they want to
I don't think they're
challenge
calling.
this.
I don't think so.
I think that was
Okay,
close.
maybe yes. Let's if we can see it again. I didn't see it in real time. It's worth a challenge though,
For sure.
surely.
Yeah.
Do they still have 2 left? Or have
I'm
they
not
had
sure. I wish.
there were a couple of challenges on early in the first set, but I don't know that we've had that many this second set.
Oh, here's the review. That is no touch, is what I'm seeing.
No touch. No
Okay,
way.
not over yet. I think it's 24-22. This is getting a little interesting. We like this.
Oh my
We love this. This is what Milano did to Fenerbahce when they thought they had
That's right. That's
a
second
set in the bag, and then Milan came sneaking back. So they'll not want to allow Conegliano to do it to them.
Plummer back in, by the way, as a blocker.
I like that choice. Oh,
And she got a great touch.
oh, back to Hawk. All the defense. Oh no! Missed
Egonu
again.
missed it.
3 hitting errors in a row, says Louis.
Wow, 24-23. This is a good dig by Scylla as well. I mean,
That's
I'm
incredible.
sure, Kate, you can confirm this is one of the most difficult swings in volleyball when the ball's coming from the end line at position 6 from a libero like that. It's so hard to take a swing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because also like back from you can't really turn that much around to see it.
Yeah, the angle is so hard. But there's Egonu. She finally got it when it mattered.
Oh, okay.
Also, the 3 block of Conegliano, that's hard. I'm telling from experience, that's hard. Because also the ball was from the back, and it's really hard to see the block, like to get the chance to. So that's also a skill. I'm not there yet, but
I feel like you're there. I feel you're there, Kate.
I do not see the block that good.
That's so when you have to try and find the ball, it's you got to find the ball before you can see the block. It's very difficult to do both.
Yeah, man. Well, good work by Milan. I'm so glad that was a little more less one-sided than the first set. I want to see these stats.
Yep.
Are these stats fresh yet?
I think they should be coming in any minute. So it's getting interesting now. We like this. I'm wondering if our second special guest might be ready to jump on. I think she is. I see her video. I don't know if I can hear her voice yet. It's one of Ekaterina's club teammates. I'm very excited to talk to.
Well, we can only have one guest at a time, right?
Yes,
Is that right, Rob? Okay.
unfortunately, we can only have one guest at a time. So,
Hey,
Ekaterina,
do you have any closing words for what you've seen so far, or give us a prediction? We really need a prediction before we leave. Now that it's 1-1.
Well, based on how for now the teams were playing, I think we're gonna see. I wanna say 5 sets, but then I'm going with Conegliano. I think Conegliano will win, but in 5. So I'm expecting. I really hope it's gonna be an incredible game. So we're gonna see some great plays, and I hope everyone enjoys watching it.
Awesome! Thank you so much. It was
Thank you so
awesome
much
having
for
you.
coming on, Ekaterina. I wish you the best of luck this summer with the Italian national team. I can't wait to watch.
Thank you so much. Have fun watching the game.
We will.
Yeah.
You too.
Bye.
Okay.
All righty.
Let me get our other special guest in
Special
here.
guest number 2. Drum roll. Is she in?
She is in.
Rob.
Miss Britt Herbots, can you hear us?
Yay! Wait, I don't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I think it's the AirPods. Remember, Kat was having trouble with the AirPods too.
Okay, she's gonna make it work the best she can, but
we love technical difficulties. We thrive on them.
We're just having fun out here.
I'm just so glad that this is a competitive match. There we go. I think I hear something.
Britt, it's working, I think.
There we go. Britt.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Hi,
Fantastic.
everyone.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
So
Thank you guys. I'm very happy.
For everyone that doesn't recognize this wonderful player, this is Britt Herbots, the outside hitter from Belgium, also from Scandicci, who played with Ekaterina all season long, and again has a lot of information to share, I'm sure, about both these teams, Conegliano and Milano. Britt, thank you so much for joining us to help watch the game. I hope you're having an awesome day and an awesome time watching.
Yeah, I just arrived back in Belgium. I had like a 10-hour drive, but I'm very happy to be here. And I think it's a very exciting match, so we'll see how it will end.
What have you seen so far? What are your thoughts and your perspectives on the match so far? It's 1-1, first set, dominant Conegliano, second set, dominant Milano. Is that what you were expecting? What did you think before coming into the game?
I think it's very difficult because, of course, we know how good Conegliano is. They were on a winning streak. Also, they come like very aggressive into the match. Already first set, you can see they want to win this Champions League. It's very often, like you can tell. But then Milano had maybe like a little more time to rest, to recover, and to be ready for this match. Well, like for them, it was like 1 week and be ready and let's go. Also because we made it kind of difficult for them during the championship. But no, I think it's a very nice game, I think, because like they're very strong teams. First set was maybe a little bit off for Milano and very aggressive for Conegliano. But now I think they're firing up Egano, and then, it's going to change.
And you said you made it difficult for them. Am I right in thinking it was 3-1 in the final? The series was 3-1. So you took a win off them. What is that right? I don't want to say anything incorrect.
Yeah, it was. Exactly.
What did you do to get them off their game? If they're the best team in the world, if we can all collectively agree that right now they're the best team in the world, what did you do to get them in Struggleville?
Yeah, I think so. We won the first match against them, and maybe like they weren't really sure what to expect from us, and we were like on a very high streak. We were like playing very, very well with our team. Everybody was ready, and like when you are playing teams like this, you need not only the 7 players on the court but also the ones on the bench. Like everybody has to be on top, and I think that happened for us the first match, where we also came back in like the 5th set 8-13 for them, and we won. I don't know how, I don't remember.
You blacked out
like this. But yeah, it was amazing. I think the first thing you have to do is serve very well, make it for them difficult to like play all 4 options, because otherwise, with Wolosh, it's very difficult. She's looking very good. She knows where the blockers are. It's very difficult playing against them. And then, of course, it's not only Haak, it's everybody on the team that's very strong and makes it difficult for you guys. And then also for the team against them, their block defense is very good. So also scoring against them is not easy. But I think we did a great job for that.
Are there any? So okay, well then let's look at Milan as well, because you did beat them twice, at least twice in the league. What did you do to take Egonu specifically out of the game if she was not able to score? What was it you did to play so well against them?
No, I think also their serves are very important. We served very well those games. They had a lot of high ball situations, difficult situations, not having even like Egonu in a perfect situation to attack. I think maybe they made a lot of mistakes also. But yeah, our block defense worked well. We know how to attack them, where to attack them. And I think all of that works perfectly. I think they were also still like finding out which outsides they had to use. I feel like they have been changing a lot during the season, and also for outsides on the court. Now, I think it's difficult to find a certain rhythm if like it's one time this one, the next time is that the other one, and you're like finding out which one is the best option because they're very different. You try Gazelle because you want more in the back row. You try Nika because you want more block. You use Bajima because you want stronger attack maybe. So yeah, I feel like maybe Sila is the one who's like more consistently on the court. And then they're like trying out like which solution is the best one. But yeah, it's an interesting team because they're very good. They have good middles. We see also, I think Redke is playing very good this final right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they depend a lot from Egonu also when they have problems in the back row. We know, and I remember very well that Conegliano is a team that serves very well. Putting the ball perfect is difficult, and then your opposite becomes very important.
Yeah, I think we knew that both these opposites in this game were going to be crucial. Would you agree with the statement that whichever one, whether it's Haak or Egonu, whichever one has the best day at the office is the team that's going to win? Are they carrying their teams that drastically?
I think a lot, yeah. But I feel like Conegliano has maybe is working better as a team. I think maybe I feel like with Conegliano, it's not really only depending on Haak. Maybe Haak is one day where it's not working. I'm not gonna say not well, but maybe a little bit less, and they have like other solutions who can perfectly take over. I feel like maybe Milano, if they're in perfect situations, they also have like a lot of attackers that can perfectly like go with it. But whenever the situation is like harder, I feel like Egon is just so important for them, which makes it a lot more difficult.
Totally agree. So where are we at in the scoreline right now, Rob?
We're looking into replay. I think it's 5-2 Conegliano. Yes, that's what I have.
5-2 Conegliano. Okay. So much better start for the Panthers in this set.
Wow. Yeah, so I just saw a huge cross-court kill from Plummer. Britt, how about you?
Yes.
Where are you at in the match?
Yeah, I just saw the cross-court of Plummer too.
Okay, so we're synced up. That's good.
We're at the same time, I think.
Because we were spoiling a few of the plays, I think, for Kate when we were with our facial expression. She's like, "Wait, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet." Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to watch the game at the exact same time from the other side of the world.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's listen in on this timeout.
Yes. Britt, how's your Italian?
Hers is better than mine. So 1000%.
Yes, no, it's pretty good. After 6 years already, it's pretty good. Yeah. No.
Did either of you hear what Coach Gaspari was saying just there?
No, I wasn't listening because I have my volume off, because otherwise I feel like you guys are also going to hear everything.
Yeah, you're probably right. Key, how about you? Could you hear what Coach was saying?
Yeah, I heard little pieces of it, but I didn't really get the whole thing, which to be fair is exactly how it was when I was actually playing in Italy. Sometimes I'd be in the timeouts like nodding along like, yep, got it, coach, and then just go back into the game and be like, I don't know what we're doing. which was fine.
It was the exact thing she was doing. She was playing with me.
Yeah, exactly. Britt and I played together in France, and your French is immaculate, and I was just like, thumbs up to everything. No idea what's going on. Hey, it worked out. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. As long as you have coaches,
No,
you know,
it was perfect.
yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes the coaches will let us get away with it, but usually, I mean, you can speak to this as well, Britt. Like, there's always players on the team that will grab you and pull you aside and help translate for you. Like, no one's feeling left out, no one's getting left behind because everyone has the same goals. So if you don't understand the language, someone will help you out.
I feel also like sometimes so much is going on. They have a timeout. You maybe want to drink, take a towel for a second, and then you're like going on, and the coach is like looking right in your eyes, and they're like, got it. And I'm like, sure. And then you go on, and you're like the first person you find on the court. They're like, what did he say? And then they're like, what? And help me.
You're like, dang, I wasn't listening either.
But yeah. Or sometimes you're like, you're trying to listen, but then maybe you're like thinking something else, and then like, oh fuck, I forgot. I lost everything. What did he say? But yeah, no, it works whenever you're like, yeah, of course, help.
This is why I love.
We're playing a team sport. We have a lot of people to help you out, so it's fine.
That's right.
This is also why I love Britt so much. She just drops an F-bomb on a live broadcast. No big deal.
Love it. Who cares? I didn't realize that you two played together. That's so cute. I didn't realize this was going to be a reunion. That's great.
Yeah, we played in Mulhouse together. This was. I feel like it was Britt's kind of like coming out year. I want to say like your standout year, because before that you had played only in Belgium. Then you came to Mulhouse.
Yes,
is that right? And she was MVP of the French league, and it was like, ciao, she's off to Italy, and we'll never be seen again in any other league. Like, it was obvious that she was destined for great things from then. Like, how you must have been like 18 or like even 17, I think, that year we played together.
Yeah, I just became 18. I just got my driver license 2 days before I left Belgium, and then I was there. Hi.
Yeah.
Can I get a car?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was very nice. I think it was a great experience. We had a very nice team. We played pretty good that season, so I feel like it was like the best start I could wish for and imagine at the moment.
Yeah. Well, only good things have happened since then, and one of them being that you've played against both these two teams. I feel like it's hard to like. I feel like we're on a podcast, but at the same time doing commentary on the match, so I'm kind of like my brain is of two different things. But I guess we should keep
let me take a moment while we have a timeout. There are some things that I'm looking at here on the stat report. I'm looking at the set 2 specific stat report, and I'm looking at Miriam Silla of Milano. She got 15 targets in reception in set number 2. Cazot got 4. Castillo got 1. So the strategy of who Conegliano is serving is very, very clear. And to Sila's credit, in set number 2, 73% positive, 60% perfect reception. That is outstanding. And that's the big difference to me about why Milano's offense looked so much better in set number 2, because Silla, who's generally the serving target on the Milano side, passed the ball better than Plummer, who's usually the serving target on the Conegliano side.
And there's a perfect example, to your point, right on cue. Perfect reception from Silla, right on the head of the setter. She's able to use Retke. Excellent change of direction as well. That's Milan. When they're in system, they can compete with anyone. And I think if that weakness, as you talked about... Go ahead, Britt.
It's also the first set I serving a lot on Nika, and they had some trouble in just in general. You get like big zone between Nika and Daldrop, and it just becomes very more difficult to receive. While like with Cazot and Castillo close to Silla, the zone just becomes smaller because they're not going to serve on Castillo, they're not going to serve on Cazot, and then everybody's going to go for Silla on a small zone, which like makes it way more easier for her to also like put Otto in the best situation. And then they're good. They have good middles, they have good outsides. If they have like the perfect pass, they're just as strong as Conegliano, I feel.
Was Oro playing when you guys played against her, or was she out? Do you remember?
She played, but it was just like not 100%. She just had played the one match against Fenerbahce to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knew that she was in a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she I don't know how, because if I saw the pictures of the ankle, I was like, that does not look good.
No,
Yeah.
her ankle was incredibly swollen. I was amazed that she was able to play even that one match on it. And I know that she didn't play in the first round series in the domestic league, right? But then she tried to play against you guys in Scandici and didn't look 100%. That was just from my perspective.
Mm.
I feel like she wasn't 100%, but also it was impossible to be 100% immediately after that match where the ankles swell up again. So yeah, that was the reason also they tried to like rest her during the quarterfinals. But that worked out well, and then to have her at least during the semifinals. But yeah, you know how it feels to be on the court with just an ankle that doesn't move like how you want it, and also as a setter, if you have to run, I feel like it's the worst. So still big heart from her to do it and to be there, and also for the match against Fenerbahce. It's not something that every player can just like bit through, but she did it. So
It was
also
amazing
amazing
that
to
she
be
did it.
there.
It was an incredibly
Yeah.
gritty warrior performance. I was very impressed.
You could also
Yeah.
tell from all the emotion coming out immediately that she was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, but that's what you want out of your players, right? If you have players that just are willing to just think about nothing else but the team, like that's obviously putting the team before anybody else. Obviously, she wants to play, she wants to win, but as a player, sometimes you have to think about your own health. But she just completely puts that aside and goes, "No, I need to be there for my team. We need to get this. We need to get to the next stage." Awesome. Who would have been the backup setter? Do you know, Rob? I don't have it in front of me.
Vittoria Prandi is their backup setter. She wears number
Gotcha.
11. I'm not sure if we'll see. We probably won't see her at least setting this game. But I watched her set their Milano's first round in the Lega Volley Femminile playoffs, and it was a noticeable drop off in
Mhm.
quality of setting compared
For
to
sure.
Oro, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It goes to show you how good Alessia Oro is. She's an outstanding world class setter.
Britt, have you played with her? You played with her in Busto?
I played 2 years with her in Busto.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, very young. Just coming up from youth national teams, going to the first years into national team. But yeah, she was already great. I feel like the nice thing of Otto is like it looked like she's just playing and not thinking about anything.
Mm.
But yeah, she has great hands. Everything just very naturally for her. But yeah, it was very nice to play with her.
That's good to hear. Let's see. What are we at now? 14-9, Conegliano.
Yeah, great rally there.
14-10.
Just saw it won by Milano. Yes, so good game. Yeah, Miriam Silla's definitely come alive. She's in positive hitting efficiency now. By the way, at least through 2 sets, Paula Igonu only 11 points, and at least what I'm looking at was 8 kills on 29 swings with 9 errors. So, and a lot of those were in the first set, to be fair. But Milano being tied 1-1 in this match without Igonu necessarily being at her best is actually a very good sign for them.
That's an insane number. She's only scored. Okay, I might have the sets after the second set. Only 11 points. That's so low for her.
Right.
So low for her.
That first set, though, you practically have to delete it from the record as far as the stats go. It was so one-sided. But credit to Milan for having the ability to come back from that. That's not easy.
No, but also they were digging everything. I feel like for Milano it was impossible to put the ball on the floor. But yeah, that's what Conegliano does well. Why it's difficult to play against them. Why it's so frustrating to play against them. They have like this big block, these great defense in the back. It just gets very frustrated. Sometimes you hit a ball and you're like, yeah, and then like, no, they got it again. But yeah,
no.
I mean, that was the whole final. We're like, I feel like we were playing very well with Scandici, but like sometimes you were just like, what else can we do? Like we did everything we can, and then by the end, like the first 2 matches played very well, 3-2 for us, 2-3 for them. But then like the third and the fourth game, you just like the batteries are low out because like it's just so long. They keep digging, they keep going, and it's very difficult to keep up with that rhythm.
And I think that's sometimes one of the things that goes overlooked on a big team like this, because we talk all about Hawk, we talk about their middles, we talk about their, how well they can attack, but the teams that defend and defend and defend and just do not allow the other team to score wears them out emotionally, physically, mentally, and then that's where the difference is. That's when the cream sort of rises to the top. The teams that just don't let up are the ones that will win.
Hey, you
No,
both.
exactly.
I have
Also,
a couple very important updates here. Paola
go.
Egonu has gone to the bench. Paola Egonu
Yes.
has gone to the bench. Adu Malawal is in. Also, Nika Dalderop is in for Miriam Silla. So Marco Gaspari has pulled out a couple of his more important players. It's 18-10. What I think he might be doing is saying, "Hey, we're not going to win this set. We're not going to win this set. We need to take the time that we can to get our most important players time on the bench to reset themselves and get prepared emotionally for set number 4." Britt, is that a decent assessment of what you think is going on here?
I feel like it's absolutely that way. I feel like we also had some moments in the finals where maybe you're giving up that set just to be more ready the next one, because like 18-10 against this team, and also like there's not so much rhythm in the team of Milano right now. So I feel like, yeah, it makes sense. Like set them 1 second on the bench, give them the right information, maybe show them what solutions they can use, and just be ready for the next set instead of staying there, getting frustrated, and maybe even having more difficulties in the next set. So it makes sense.
Have you played for either of these two coaches?
No, never. I played a lot of times against both of them, but never for them.
I always wonder if, because just knowing the way a coach works and what he might be saying in the timeouts, that kind of insight would be awesome right now. But I also have not played for either of them. Rob, have you played for either of these two coaches?
No, I haven't. Thank you so much for asking. No, I have not played for either of these two coaches. But I will say that Milano already got destroyed in one set in this match and came back the following set and won. So the first set went pretty similarly to how the current set is going, but somehow they were able to reset themselves mentally and in the momentum and play better volleyball starting at 0-0 in the second set, and they won. So this match is not over yet. This set is definitely over, but this match is not over.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah Farr, swinging on that. Brett, do you know any insight on her injury? Because did you see the same thing we saw walking into the stadium on crutches? I don't know if you watched all the way from the beginning.
No, I heard about it, but it was strange. I had no clue. But
Okay,
I think
are we imagining it, Rob? Or maybe it was like a footage from another day or something?
I'm very confident that she walked into the stadium today on crutches and is dealing with an ankle injury. But I mean, like I said earlier, the same thing happened to Alessia Oro in that legendary Fenerbahce match. And whatever sort of work the athletic trainers did with her to get her ready to play that
Witchcraft.
match, no reason they couldn't do the same to get Sarah Farr ready to play this one, I suppose. Ooh, ace serve there from Kazot. So another thing that I think,
very
and
nice.
you two who have played at a higher level than me, please confirm this, but when you're down 20-13, for example, the best thing you can kind of do is like Kazot just did there, rip an ace, make a couple plays, dig a ball, block a ball, whatever. Even if it doesn't help you win that set, it helps you take momentum back to start the next one. Is that fair?
Yeah, it just sounds very easy like this.
Yeah, just make all those plays. Why can't you just do that?
Yeah.
Like this 14, make 6-8, and we're back. No.
Yeah, easy.
No, that makes sense. I mean, like the only thing you can do at that moment is like not get frustrated and just be aggressive. Like try to go as hard as possible on every single ball. You have nothing to lose. They're tipping makes no sense at those moments. Free balls, no way. But yeah, I would prefer like an error in the serve than an easy serve where they're just like getting the ball on the floor. So yeah, that's actually the best you can do. But it's not always easy against a team that's going at 1000% against you. So.
And it's funny hearing Britt say that, because I know some players that will be like, oh yeah, we just have to be more aggressive, and they say it with their words, but Britt is one of those players that like, she gets this fire in her eyes, and it's literally from 0.0 to 0.25. There is nothing getting between her and scoring points, and And 100% what you're saying, Rob, is how she is from the first point. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is. I don't think Britt even knows what the scoreline is. She's just like, I'm going to bulldoze whatever's in front of me. Watch out. It's
Love
so
it.
fun to play with her.
That happens sometimes, and I'm like, oh, what's the score? And then like, oh,
Literally.
okay. But yeah, no, I feel like there are like some matches where it's different. Like when we played against Conegliano, like also Kate already said, you cannot give too many points just for them with forced errors. So you have to already like make sure what you're doing with every single ball. But then there are like moments at the set, like where they maybe give you a free ball and you just have to be aggressive. It has to go on the floor. You don't get this opportunity one other time. But yeah, then there are other matches where maybe you're a little bit more free. You don't think too much. You just go and then, oh, there's a scoreboard. Or perfect. Or like, oh, the girls are going to the back row. Like, oh, this is finished. Perfect.
Yeah.
But
there are people watching this match. It's not just me and my team, like in the zone. Yeah.
But yeah, no. I feel like when you're in the zone, that's the moments like that you're going best, and that's the moment where you think almost against like about nothing, and you just keep going, and everything works. If you attack with your left hand, it's point. If you attack with your elbow, it's gonna be point. But getting in that moment is like the most difficult thing.
Yeah. Well, 23-15. Conegliano are in the zone for sure right now. Look at that man. He's so calm.
Who, Santarelli? Oh, he's
Santarelli. He's always just chilling on the sideline. Like, I feel like some coaches get so riled up and some are just really calm and respectful with their players.
I've seen a little bit of both
latter.
from Santarelli. He'll get a little animated every so often.
It's like they're completely different types right now. You have Gaspari, who's like running from the back to the front, like again and like, and then you have Santarelli, who's like this.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, he's been at the highest level for years now. He's seen every stressful situation there is to see. So no reason for him to be worried.
Finals, I saw like some moments where I was like, "Oh, he looks kind of stressed out. This feels good," which almost never happens. But no, usually it's very calm. Also, Massimo Barbolino on our side was very calm, so it was funny because he had like two coaches just like, "It's going good." But yeah, I feel like that also works because like it just gives confidence to a team without saying anything, and that's like perfect. Also, it's like it depends on what like teams need.
Speaking of confidence, did you guys just see that in real time that I did? That ball just dropping off the block, no coverage.
Yeah, that ball.
Has Conegliano
covered.
have they just decided they've got this set in the back? Look at Santarelli on the sidelines,
Yeah,
like, ladies, what's going on here?
That's one that will make a coach a little bit upset. And I actually kind of agree with this timeout call. I think maybe he's sensing exactly what Key you just said. Like they're falling asleep and thinking that this set is already theirs. And even if it ends up being that way, it's important to take control of the momentum into the fourth set as well. And you can't let balls like that drop.
Yeah, for sure.
Not in a Champions League superfinal, certainly.
It's so funny being on the commentary side, and Britt, like now technically you're on a commentator side right now. We sit here in our chairs with our coffee, like all relaxed, like, oh, I can't believe you didn't get that ball up. It's so funny to me. Sometimes I hear the words coming out of my mouth and I'm like, well, when I was a player, I wouldn't have got that up either. So
it's already funny because usually when I watch a match, I'm like the whole time, die, no, die, oh. But now I'm like, that's good, perfect.
Great job, guys. Great job. Oh, my stream is not.
Ooh, mine too.
Streaming. Yours too?
Oh,
okay.
no.
I don't know if that's us or if that's the YouTube. Are you both watching it on YouTube?
I am, yeah.
I'm on Eurovolley TV and it's not working either.
Okay, mine just came back.
Came back. Oh, gone again.
Okay, they must have just had a little issue there from the venue in Antalya. Ooh.
Are we still in sync then?
I'm not sure.
Conegliano just scored and they're in the huddle and I see Plummer and now I see Agonu.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am. So I think we are in sync.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, okay. All right. They're having some transmission issues from the venue.
Technical issues, yeah. Man, not on set point. At least it's this set point rather than
not
the championship point. They'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, they're definitely having some problems. Yeah, so this isn't anything on the YouTube side. This is I can guarantee this is from the venue that a couple of these issues are coming from.
That's all right. Well, good match
At
so
least they
far.
works.
At least they're what?
At least they have our comments, so that works.
Yeah, guys, we're still here. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we got this.
We're not going anywhere. Yeah, I start to see the comments coming through that are like, wait, what? What's going on? Okay, so we're not the only ones. So I think we can just assume that this set's going to go Conegliano's way.
I think so.
What do we think? What do we think, Britt, Conegliano did differently in this set compared to the second one?
Oh, difficult. I feel like just maybe Milano also made a couple more errors, forced errors, and then it becomes difficult for them to keep up with Conegliano. And the block defense works again better than in the second set. I feel like second set maybe their block defense was working less. And also they made a couple of errors. Plummer made some mistakes. Haag made some errors. While Egonu was working very well in the second set. But then still you see like you think they're gonna close the second set easily, and then they come back 24-23. And that's dangerous with teams like this. Like,
Yeah.
watch out. But I feel like it's a very interesting final, and I feel like okay, maybe Conegliano now won 2 sets easy, but you never know what's gonna happen. A 4th set can be won by Milano, and then there's a 5th set, and everything can happen in the 5th set.
That's
So, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got just barely enough of my stream back to see Isabel Haag get the kill to win the set. So Conegliano won the set 25-19, at least I think. That's the best that I can see right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2-1 then. I think, Conegliano, one of their main strengths is, we talked about it earlier, them just never giving up, but their consistency, right? They're not a team that rides super highs and super lows the way that Milan does. I feel like if one player is on or not on Milan's side, can be a completely different team. Whereas Conegliano, there's so much value throughout the team that it really never really shifts too much from their game plan and their sort of style of play.
I feel like they're very balanced. You have like everybody know their role in the team. Kelsey Robinson is on there to defense, to receive, to make her points, making blockouts, making her points, while like Plummer is the one who has to attack more. Haag is there to make her amazing points. And then the middle blockers, it's not only about attacking, but they're also like great blockers, high blockers, and difficult to get through or to get past by. So yeah, I feel like they're very consistently, because like everybody is always on quite the same level, and then maybe one set it's the other girl, then the other one takes over. While like on Milano team, maybe you have like the more highs and lows of everybody, which makes it a little bit more difficult to like be all consistent, to be always on the same level. But yeah, I feel like that's just the power of Conegliano, and also the fact that the girls know each other for a very long time, which also helps. If you know each other for a long time, you know what you can like expect from your teammates. Well, like maybe on a team like Milano, which is actually like quite new from this season, it's still searching and balancing, which makes it a little bit more difficult. And also Conegliano perfectly knows how to play these finals. They show it every year.
They do. They only have one Champions League title, though, which we were talking about in the beginning of the show, is fascinating to me for a team that we keep saying is the best in the world. They only have one. That's incredible.
Yeah, but that's where you show like if it's one game, everything can happen. That's also what we said about the finals right now. Like maybe if it was one game, you can say maybe we could have won the championship. But like if you see it on like a longer period where it's like best of 5, you know, it's going to be very difficult to like win 3 matches against a team this big. While like if it's one final, you need like this one perfect day where everybody is ready 100%, and then who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, I hope also for them, maybe because like a few players are quitting, are going to like at least win also this Champions League and to like finish in a great way. But they're both very good teams, so I'm curious what's going to happen now.
Another part about Conegliano only winning, having won 1 Champions League final. I know this is their 4th. Of the previous 3, Paula Egonu was on their team for 2 of those, and Paula Egonu was playing against them for 1 of those. That was the first one in Novara in 2019. So that's a factor too. It's the Conegliano's amazing franchise against the singular monster that is Paula Egonu in the SuperFinals, and it's just a fascinating conflict that is definitely not over yet here in the 2024 edition.
And I think you made this point to me yesterday, Rob, and tell me if you agree, Britt, that if you want to make a Champions League title, you have to have one of the following 4 players: Igonu, Haak, Boskovic, or Vargas. Would you agree with that?
No, I hope also to do it with Kate Antropova. So
I hope so
Okay.
too.
Perfect
I,
answer.
she's number 5. She's number 5 on the
Oh,
list
yeah.
that is possible. I agree.
these are like the 5 strongest opposites, which for sure you need on your team. Like they're just the point machines everybody needs. It's like the difficult situations, the bad situations where the ball goes, high ball, fix
Yeah.
it, please.
Yeah.
But you need those type of players. Like right now, how volleyball just like got at a point where like the opposite is just very important for every team. So
Yeah, for sure. Man, this stream is still choppy. Anyone else?
Yeah, I know they're working on it from the venue side. There's nothing that we can do about it for the moment except follow along with the score. What we can do, and I think we should do right now, is take a look at the stats now that the report is updated through 3 sets. Paula Igonu right now through 3 sets is hitting negative efficiency. She has 12 points. She only scored 1 point in the 3rd set. She is 9 for 36 attacking with 10 errors. She does have 2 blocks and an ace, but definitely not a normal performance from her in a Champions League super final. Also, Miriam Silla, 8 points on 8 for 23 attacking with 5 errors. Also not very efficient.
Can we all agree, though, that Paula Igonu is one of those players that even if she had a bad set previously, I think she can still come around and score
For
10,
sure.
15 points in this set alone?
For sure.
absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like she needs this much just to be triggered and boom.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She was the top scorer of all 4 previous finals that she's been in. And so if she doesn't come out as top scorer today, that would be shocking to me.
Top scorer
Even
right
at
now
the-
by far is Isabel Haak, who's having a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic match. 17 points on 17 for 31 attacking, 3 unforced errors, blocked 0 times. That's outstanding. That is really, really good.
And Britt, you are going to be playing Sweden with Belgium in the Golden League in a few weeks, right? Do you have any insight on Haak in terms of what are you guys going to do to slow her down, or have you been scouting her already, or
Well,
just
she just
general
played her on a
insight?
different level, I guess.
Yeah, true.
I hope I can bring at least some information to the coach and be like, we tried this. I don't know if it worked, but we tried this. But I feel like it depends also if like the team you're using to play against her. I feel like with Belgium, maybe we cannot use the same system we tried with Scandici because like you have complete different players.
Mhm.
For sure, mid blockers, the national team, like with the mid blockers we have like in Scandici, it's a difference and normal. But yeah, even for me, she attacked over me with Scandici. I'm the same also in Belgium national team, so she's gonna attack the same over me also there. But no, I feel like it's very difficult to block her because she really hits it very high. She hits deep angles, so I feel like if you want to stop her, it's like all with defense. Also now she's playing a final against a big team. She got blocked 0 times, so we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I feel like defense is very important on her, like trying to find like the right spots to place. Like also if you see Sila, she's getting some balls in defense because she's positioned well, she's reading well, and I feel like that's what we need. And then also she's having Wolosh now. I feel like the setter and national team of Sweden is gonna be a difference, so maybe that helps a little bit.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah. So even from a hitter's perspective, she might not be in quite as good form if she doesn't have Wolosh with her.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that would apply to most players, given just how good Joanna Volosh is.
Talking about it at the table, like my mom was like, "Yeah, what do you think?" Like Maya Wolosh, and I was like, "They're both great, mom, but like with setters like this, even you're still able to attack, I think."
I love your mom, by the way. Can you give her a big hug when you see her? She's always sending me like really lovely messages. And I love that you guys talk volleyball around the kitchen table. That's amazing.
I kind
all
of
the
want to
time.
see Britt Herbots' mom spike a ball off Joanna Volo-Shedding and see if she can score. I think we have to put this to the test now.
Yeah, because I feel like that's gonna be a point, and she's gonna scream even harder than me. So
We
that will
need to make it happen, guys. Viral video ideas. This is the content. Think of the content, Britt. Amazing.
That would be
Cool, cool, cool.
fantastic. All right, our
Yeah.
broadcast is still struggling pretty hard over here. Let's see. Let's see what I can do here.
I don't think there's anything we can do. All the stream, the entire feed is full of angry fans
I know.
in the comments. I don't
guys.
know if you guys are watching that as well.
Well, I sympathize. I mean, I've done so much broadcast, like live event broadcasting in my life. When things goes wrong, nobody hates it more than the people who are in charge. It's very stressful. So I feel for our
Yeah.
CEV friends from the site.
And it usually has nothing to do with the CV at all. It would be some technical issue somewhere down the stream that's they're not even in control of. Because I think it's been a fantastic so far in terms of camera angles, graphics, replays. The only thing is we didn't have the mics early on in the first match, but like the fact that we get to watch volleyball at this high level with this kind of broadcast and production is I'm pumped on it. We're getting more and more as the years go on as well. I mean, when I first started watching volleyball, everything looked like it was filmed on a potato. So already, if it's in HD, we're miles ahead.
It's true. Also in France, they just had like the camera in the back of the gym, and that was the live stream for the whole match.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So what else should we talk about while we're waiting on the stream to come back?
Let's see.
Any talking points we've missed?
Well, they don't quite hit the same when the match isn't going on, but yeah, I think the question for this fourth set for Milano is, can they get back to the same level of success of the second? Can they put a lot of pressure on Catherine Plummer? Can they stay in system when Miriam Silla is getting targeted in reception? And can they spread the offense around to more than just Igonu, who, even though she's not having her best day, it is you want to get her involved when there's not three blockers in front of her. It's as is so common with volleyball, it will come down to serving and serve reception, as it so often does.
Exactly. No, like serve reception is so important, but then if it's not working, then the high ball becomes important, where you need the opposite. And I feel like right now the evening is more for Haag than for Igonu. But yeah, that's why you need like a few good balls where also she can find her rhythm, and then the high balls maybe after will follow a little bit more easily. But yeah, serve pass is just so important, and the level of like serving is just becoming higher and higher. You see more like different serves, more difficult serves, the Lubian serve, the Keidan Tropova serve, they're all weird types of serve. Like you can never be prepared, because like they're very difficult also to practice, because they're like half floaty, half spinning.
Who do you think has the best serve between these two teams right now? You've received against both of them.
Which individual player?
Which individual player? Yeah.
I think Conegliano in general is serving better, like harder, and then like Lubian is, yeah, you guys saw it. It's just like so annoying. It's like it depends of like how she's touching the ball. Like a few times it's like spinning more, and then you're like, oh, okay, thank you. But then when she's like hitting it like more floaty, it just like comes off on your shoulders, and you're like, oh, maybe it's out, and you turn and it's like, oh no, it's on the line.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's the same thing that Kate said, and she doesn't even receive, and she was like, I hate that serve. I'm like, yeah.
It's a nasty serve. That hybrid serve is, I think it's the future.
Yeah, it's the future, and everything. Like you see already, like how many young girls are like trying this hybrid serve, like between spin and float. Also, Kate has like a strange serve. So I feel like we're already one of the teams who can like prepare a little bit better, because we have Kate in our team who also serves like this. But it's never the same. It always like depends of like how they're taking it, how also their night is going. I feel like if you already made like 3 errors, you're never gonna force it. So you're like, okay, three mistakes, maybe it's gonna be easier tonight. But then, yeah, it just depends. It's very annoying. It's
and
difficult.
You're an awesome server as well, Britt. But I never did top spin jump serving. But how much does a different venue affect your serve? Because if you're serving at home, you've done it 100 times with the same lights, with the same air temperature, with the same space and depth behind the court. Does it change drastically from court to court if you're going and playing away somewhere?
Yeah, it depends. And I feel like big gyms, like right now, Champions League final, where it's very high, it's very strange. You just like toss the ball and you like never
It's
know
gone.
exactly. Also, the day before, you have like maybe the first practice where you can like try stuff, and it's like, ooh, the first serve, maybe I'm like gonna hit it with my elbow or something. Like, can happen, don't worry. But yeah, in a smaller gym, I feel like it's a little bit easier, and like it's easier to like understand where the ball is at and like at what time you can like hit it. While in like a big gym with all the fans, with like the lights that are different, the height of the gym, also to like understand the depth of the court, it's very strange.
Yeah, it's like, for example, there's a in cricket. I don't know if either of you know cricket, but the actual court changes. It's a grass field, right? But the dimensions change with every single game wherever they go to play, and the sort of width and everything changes, and the grass and everything. You'd think that in volleyball, oh, it's pretty standard, everything's the same, but just even differences in temperature, I feel like, can affect the way the ball floats. Like. At least we don't have sand, sun, and wind to deal with. I've been playing a bit of beach recently. I've been humbled, Britt. Absolutely humbled. Yeah.
Beach is so hard. I could never do it.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
We're feeling amazing. We're just talking volleyball here.
Yeah. I'm so glad that Britt is back home.
Aww.
Couple of weeks, yes.
Just a couple of weeks, and then she's back to business, back to action.
Yes. Bye.
Oh, that was so great.
Yeah, that's
Britt,
typical.
what's your mother's name?
My mom is Sigrid.
Hi, Sigrid. Thank you so much for joining us. That was great.
And two of the most talented daughters in the business. One's a model, one's a top volleyball player. I'm like, just I mean, save some genes for the rest of us, Oh, look, I think we have a stream.
I think we have some of our stream back.
Nice. Okay, so where are you guys in the stream?
I'm at, I think, 1312 Conegliano, I think.
Mine is still not working.
Okay, I'm going
to 1313 now.
I'm on a challenge for block touch. Am I early?
Yeah, that's that. Nope, I'm in the same spot.
Okay, challenge for block touch. Well, I feel like I have no idea what's gone on in this second set. I didn't see any of it. I don't know about you guys.
Me
but
neither, but it's depending on this challenge, I guess it's 13-13, and we're gonna have a really entertaining end to the fourth here, no matter what happens.
Let's see. Oh, okay, I see 14-12 Milan.
Okay, you must be a little bit ahead of me. Oh wait, I can fast forward. Here we go.
You can. Yeah, go live and then see if we're synced up.
Yep, I just saw Milan get to 15-12.
Okay, perfect. Are you there as well, Britt?
No, mine is still blocked completely.
Oh, okay. We'll fill you in then. 15-12 Milan. So far, so good. Okay, so this is exactly what we were just talking about, right? Milan, yes, they have extreme lows, but how about this? Coming back and playing back to their level and being up by 3 in the next set. Like, that's incredible.
Impressive
Centrally
to be able to
speaking
do
English
that,
in the
not once,
timeout.
but twice.
Okay. Louis just goes, this game is wild. Yes, it is, Louis. Okay, so what does Conegliano now do? And obviously we can't even talk about this first half, so we don't even know where these points have been coming from. But if Milan's now getting the momentum, what does Conegliano do? Just exactly what they've been doing, or do they have to react some way differently?
Serve and pass. That's what it's all about. Run your offense through the best setter in the world and do your thing. Britt, we heard from our producer Florin that Eurovolley TV should be working now if you just refresh it. So give that a try.
Now it's back.
You're back? Fantastic.
Yes. 15-12.
Okay, I have 15-13, so we might have to pause and wait for Britt to catch up.
Okay, let's do that.
Should we do that?
Right now if you're ready.
Ready, steady. Wait, should we wait till someone's about to serve? Then we can stop right before she serves.
I have already done that. You've psyched me out.
Okay. Sorry.
Far is about to serve now.
Who is? Sarah Farr?
Farr.
Okay. Tell me when you get to...
Egonu
Wait a minute.
scored.
Egonu scored. Okay.
Okay, I think I should be pretty close to that now. It's 16-13.
Exactly.
Okay, will you tell me right when the footage of Kazot comes on, and I'll on pause. She's about to serve.
Right now,
Right
I
now.
just saw that.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, we're synced up.
We're pretty good. Yeah, we're pretty close now.
Okay. And she just missed.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on. Okay,
Oh,
so
this is
I know. Okay, so put yourself in Kazot's shoes just then. Would you have gone for that ace, Britt, or would you have maybe just forced Conegliano to play if you've got those 2-3 points of advantage?
No, I feel like you have to push. Otherwise, it's too easy for them. Also, their lineup and reception is pretty good, so you really have to like try to take the ball off of the net, because otherwise with Wolosh, it's difficult.
Yeah. For sure. Let's go, Reki. What do you got? Oh, was that a foot fault?
Pretty close.
Pretty close, right?
Ooh, okay. We have Janari in for Plummer right now, which makes Conegliano's reception line even more difficult to find weaknesses in.
Yeah. Great swing by Robinson Cook. I can't get away from calling her Robinson. Like calling her
I
Cook
also-
still. Yeah, and it's been like 4 years now, and I still am like, I cannot call her Cook. I'm sure
Shout out to her husband, Brian Cook.
I
was a
know, Brian would be
talented
like, nope.
volleyball player in his own right. I think he gets overlooked in the power couple there for good reason. Kelsey's incredible, but Brian Cook, when he played at Stanford, he played at Modena in Italy. He was a very good player.
Is he still playing? I feel like he plays a
Not
bit of
that I
beach
know
now, but I
of.
haven't seen him at a high level.
Hey, Pepper, get up here, dude.
Yeah, bring the cat on the stream. Welcome, Pepper. Britt, where's your pup?
He's down.
Matt.
I might call him later. Yeah.
Gotta
Matt's
bring
also
him.
here.
Gotta bring
He's
him
the
in.
garden.
I remember
Oh, cute.
Matt from CV was like, "Oh, she named her dog after me." I'm like, "No, she didn't."
No. Almost.
All right, where are we
Pepper,
at
you're
here?
famous.
Pepper's so cute.
All right, time to go now, dude.
Oh, what a rip. Okay. I keep wanting to say Hawk Attack as well. Her last name is Hawk, but India,
I've always heard it as Hawk. Yeah.
Hawk. In India, we had a team that were the Hawks, and they had this Hawk Attack, Hawk Attack, Hawk Attack. They had this whole like theme song to go with it. So in my head, whenever she attacks and Louis says Hawk Attack, that's all is playing in my head. Hawk Attack, Hawk Attack. Okay, she could get them back into this set 1000%.
Absolutely.
Yep, she's one of those X Factor players, one of those all-time awesome players. And like her, I'm sorry, Britt, to bring it up so soon, but the way that Isabel Hawk played against Scandici in those Italian finals was ridiculous. I think it was match number 3, a 4-set match. She scored 41
40
points.
points, yeah.
No, I feel
Crazy.
like match we had like an idea like, oh, like this was good. Like we kind of like stopped her maybe a little bit, because like it's impossible to like stop players completely, like of this kind of players, but like controlled her a little bit. In the third match we were like we didn't even see the balls in defense, we didn't even feel the air in block. Like it was insane. Not it's like it's not only attacking, it's also she's serving, she's blocking, she's helping in defense. I feel like she's a very complete player, because like she's really working for the team. It's not only about attacking, it's not only about one thing. Like she's doing whatever she can, like on anything.
Yeah, she's a really fun player to watch play. And also, I feel like I've heard she's a great teammate as well. I think sometimes when players are relied on to be that star player, you can hear some different stories here and there about them, but she like such a sweetheart.
No, she's very nice. I think she's one of the sweetest girls in the world, really.
Yeah.
We got a huge rally here.
Block. This is an important one as well, because if
Wow.
Conegliano take it, now they're back to within 1. That's a big shift from what was the lead? The lead was like 3 or 4 points earlier for Milan.
Yeah, I think it was 3, and then could have been 3 right there. Is that Volosh who got that one?
Yes.
Huge block.
Let's go, Asha.
You played with her, right, Key?
I did. Yeah, I played with her back in my Busto days. Another great teammate, great leader. I remember specifically once she set me once and I got blocked and she looked at me and was like, you're getting this next one. She sets me again. And I was so nervous that I just like tipped it over the block. And
Oh,
I think we
no.
ended up getting the point. But she just like, daggers through my eyes. I was like, yeah, I know. I'll do better. next
Everyone
time.
loves
I'm
a
so
repeat
sorry.
setter. Repeat setters are the best. They give you the ball right back.
Exactly. But it was like my first season in Italy. I was like nervous and yeah, she's great.
Some setters, and I feel like also Maya on our team is like the same. Like just with the eyes, she's
Yeah.
talking, and
Yeah.
you're receiving. She's looking at you, and you're like, oh, this ball is mine. I already
got it. I imagine, Britt, you're also one of those players. I feel like you look directly at your setter, and you're like, if this ball goes anywhere except to me, you're done.
like when like going up like this. It's 2020. I'm the one like,
yeah,
mine.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, okay, sorry. And then if it goes somewhere else and we don't make the point, I'm like, what did I say? But yeah, no, it's really nice.
I feel like Aganu is one of those players. She'd be that player for Milan, saying this ball has. I've seen her multiple occasions being like, this ball must go to me, and everyone in the stadium knows it's going to her, and she'll still get the kill.
All right, Milano just got an ace on Catherine Plummer. They're up by 4, 22-18. Timeout, Conegliano. We could be going 5 here. It's possible.
Yeah. I'm listening. He looks a little frazzled, but he doesn't look stressed. I mean, he's sort of going, team, why aren't we playing our game? Wait a little bit on that block. He doesn't look stressed out. I don't know if you agree with me on that, Britt.
A little bit, but like it's with the tablet and it's turning around and it's like,
yeah.
Well, there's
like
something going on.
Some coaches, when they get stressed, they just get like, you could see their eyes bulging out of their skull. He's just sort of like, all right, guys, we could do better than this. Come on.
But I feel also like that's the nice thing about having like one of these teams like to lead on. Like, they know how to play these matches. They're not young girls that are new on this stage. Like, they know how also like to work it out, like just between them. So
yeah,
I feel like during timeouts, it's not like saying too many, like not giving too much information, but like just I think, and then they will also speak like between them. So I think it's like the easy and the difficult thing between them.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch a lot of the U.S. national team. I feel like Karch does a really good job. Oh, great shot, by the way. A little tickle over there by Bajima, who's in. Amazing. Yep. But I think that's what the USA team does well as well. They kind of let the little groups form between setters will talk to themselves, the middles will talk to themselves. It's not just the coach sort of dictating and yelling at the entire group. It's, hey, everyone on the bench has got here for a reason. They are all quality players. They have something to add.
Which also helps, like one coach cannot see everything and not say anything like to all the players. I feel like if every coach has like a point they have to look at and like give information to like these types of players, it helps a little bit.
Yeah, 1000%. All right, guys, set point.
Yep. So we saw Bajima come in for Kazot to block it, and then she scored in transition. We also saw Malawal come in to serve, and she's been really good in that role. She went on a big run in the second. She got a couple there in the fourth. But then from a very similar score in the second, Conegliano came back and almost won. Ooh, but Kelsey Robinson just pounded that into the antenna. That's out. 25-19 Milano, and we're going 5. Oh, man. Here we go.
I mean, I think because we saw that the men's match went 3-0 and it was pretty much just a wash for Trentino, I almost was not expecting this to go to 5. I was, but I wasn't. But like, of course it's going to 5.
Of course it is. So as we go to the fifth here, so that I can prepare to capture the celebration on the video as soon as the match is over, I think that means we have to say goodbye to our guest, Britt. Britt, it's been so fantastic to have you for these 2 sets. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this season with the Belgian national team. You have any parting words for the people, or like give us a prediction? Who do you think is going to win this 5th set?
Give us a prediction.
Oh, no, it's difficult. I'm gonna say Conegliano, but just because I know how difficult it is in 5th set against them. But then we already saw, anything can happen. But yeah, it was very exciting, and it's gonna be still a very exciting 5th set. So I'm very curious, and for sure I'm gonna watch it right now. But thanks to you guys, thanks for having me, and thanks to all the fans at home. And I hope to see everybody soon. And good luck to everybody national team, and for you guys, good luck. We'll see each other around, and enjoy the 5th set.
We will.
Thank you,
Thanks
Britt.
so
You
much,
as
Britt.
well.
Thanks to you guys. Big kiss. Bye-bye.
Oh, I love Britt so much. Oh.
That was great. Huge thanks to Britt Herbots for joining us. And now it's time to lock in here, Key. 5th set with a Champions League final on the line. Got to put up, let's see. Look at Paula Egonu's recent records in the Champions League final. Of her previous 4, only 1 has gone to 5. And that was the 2021 final when Conegliano beat Vakifbank. Paula Egonu won that 5th set and finished off her 41-point banger of a performance. But the rest of the ones that she's played in have all been 4-setters. So we'll see. This is going to be intense. A 5th set, obviously only to 15 points to be crowned champions of Europe. And Key, obviously, I mean, you've played in 5th sets, but maybe not one ever for a Champions League title. But what do you think these 2 teams are feeling at this moment right now?
It's funny because I have played in a Champions League final, but I think it was like a 3-0 wash we played against. It was when I was at Busto, playing with Asha Volash. Actually, I forgot to mention that, who's gone on to win many a Champions League since then. So it wasn't necessarily this exact situation, but just being on this stage, I mean, it's kind of, it's heartbreaking on one side, because if you're the team that has been successful all season long, you know exactly what you need to do. Maybe you're playing well, maybe you're not playing well, but it all comes down to just that moment. An entire season gets summed up in a matter of minutes. And I don't know, it's exhilarating. It's amazing being in, just even having the opportunity to play at that level, or even just to play. I mean, volleyball, we love this sport so much, and the fact that we get to play it, I say we like as if I'm still there, but these players get to, this is their job. They get to just show up, play volleyball, and that's and everyone loves them for it. So it's the best job in the world. So I'm sure they're feeling excitement, nervous, anticipation, expectation, all of the things, but then you kind of have to just calm yourself and go, hey, I've done this a million times. I'll just do what I know how to do.
Yep, you fall back on your training in moments like this. You fall back on your experience, and both of these teams have won so many matches, so many incredible matches and big moments throughout this year. All right, we're underway. Are we in sync, Key? Did you just see Plummer kill that first
Plummer
ball?
Yep, exactly.
Perfect.
Ooh, how exciting.
Obviously,
so
every
first,
point in a 5th set, everything is magnified that much more when you have less room for error, especially points on serve are enormous.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost as if, okay, we love the 25-point format, but when I was in India recently, they just go to 15. So it's literally a sprint to the end. Sometimes the first 10 points of a volleyball match can just be feeling each other out, but you really take that sprint when you get to 10 or when you get to 15. So to just go to 15 points is, look at Scylla's face. She is locked in. Look at her eyes.
She's so locked in. So locked in.
You have to sprint. You have to sprint to 15.
She's going to be the key here. Look at that set from Oro. Crazy fast to the outside.
Yeah. And I love how she extends, right? She's reaching at her peak. So she's not one of the tallest players out there, but she's going up to the very peak of that to get the hit.
What an awesome grab there by Joanna Volvo. She gets up high. I don't know if there's a better setter, at least in the women's game, that I've ever seen at playing tight balls than her. She's so good when the ball's close to the net, contorts her body, gets 2 hands on it, doesn't touch the net, and gets it to far. That was really nice.
I think we're going to be going neck and neck. Just a matter of who gets that one Oh, break point
Huge.
for Conegliano. That's huge.
Yep. Joanna
Huge.
Volosh, best setter in the world, doing it from the service line. That was a nasty one. That one really dropped.
She's also really good at varying her serve. So you'll see that one that just dropped really short. The next one, she'll go really deep, or she'll aim kind of like on the same player, but now that they will have taken a couple of steps up, she'll target them deep. Like she's
Right
really
there.
good at making them. Exactly. You see her having to go over the shoulder
Ooh,
that
good
time.
dig
She's
by
so good at
Volosh
that.
as well. Egonu blocked and covered. Egonu again. I think that's her 4th swing in that one rally, and she finally puts it away. You better believe Oro knows who to go to in this 5th set. Milano is going to win or lose based on Paula Egonu. They're going to ride or die with the best player on their team.
And I don't think that's a bad strategy
Not
at all. Like I mentioned, I put my money on her all day long. Any day, I would put my money on Egonu to win in the Champions League final. So she would be furious if that was not the case. If they were setting other people and she didn't get a chance to influence the game.
That's
tough miss because
that serve by Foley was not good. But yeah, like you said, Paula Egonu brought into Milano with surely an enormous contract. They did not give her that enormous contract to not set her in the 5th set of a Champions League final. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Kazot right on the baseline.
Oh, a little kiss on the forehead from Rek.
Yeah, that was
That's
cute.
adorable. That was real cute.
Great shot. Really good shot right there, just outside the block of Hawk.
I hope we get a slow-mo. Oh, I thought we were going to get a slow-mo of the forehead kiss.
2 service errors in a row.
And that one from Egonu.
I'm okay
and those
with
are the 2 players.
Because like Egonu is one of the best servers in the world. She's going to have the green light to just go for it as aggressively as she can every time. The one from Foley before is the one that I don't like.
Although having said that, Foley, as we mentioned, she got 5 aces, I think, in the last semifinal. So I'd say she'd be one of those players to have the green light, but she doesn't have quite as a difficult serve because she is just jump floating. I say just, it's still difficult to jump float.
Ooh,
nice shot.
Off speed there from Kazot. I thought that ball might be diggable, but not quite.
She's so good at that. The off speed, the rolls. I mean, she's got a big block in front of her between those two into Cruyff and Hawk, and she knows it and she's smart about it.
It's a huge
I played against her as well in France, and I just remember thinking like, she's so frustrating. Oh, great dig. Okay, it's up.
Oh, what a block.
Stop.
What a block. Dana Retke. I'm really proud of Dana Retke. She's from Chicago, just like me. She's having an awesome career. But I think that was actually Scylla that got most of that one.
I mean, the block was so closed that there was nowhere to go. So I feel like, yes, you give the point to one blocker, but if they're 2 and they're completely in sync, like that was just a really great block.
In the NCAA, they would give each player half a block for that.
Oh, really? I thought they just give it to the middle automatically. If the middle's there, give it to the middle.
Like in that case, each player would have gotten half a block in the stat sheet, which sometimes I like, sometimes I don't. It ends up being real confusing with like team block totals, but yeah, sometimes that happens. But then Robinson comes back with another swing, and that was a bit of a tough rotation for Conegliano that they got out of. And now, wow, I'm really interested in this. Isabel Hawk is on the bench. Maddie Bug
in for the serve. Yeah. Oh, great D.
So this Robinson's really their only attacker now, because Plummer's off the floor as well. Now they got a free ball. This is going to go to the middle, I would think.
Oh, what a D.
Brenda, my goodness, what a dig.
Oh,
okay. Oh, a miscommunication.
Oh,
no, a miscommunication between De Gennaro and Bug, I think. Wow.
Oh, that's a big point for Milan. Because it's a great dig to start off with. Is this the point we're looking at? No, it's the next one. A few amazing digs in a row. I mean, that's some defensive grit.
This one's
I think it was this one,
4-4 that Robinson dug. Wow, it's such an awesome play.
Yeah, and then Oh,
Plummer. Okay.
two setters
So-
and a libero on court
right.
trying to set that.
So Hawk is back on. She gets the ball immediately. Ooh, Retke with a diving play.
And then Iganu out of system. Oh, come on. Oh, I
Wow.
thought Scylla was going to have that. I thought she was
Almost.
going to bring it back.
Almost. Kelsey Robinson is really coming to play in this fifth set. I've been super impressed, especially those last two rotations. She was kind of the primary scorer, which is not a role that she finds herself in often, and took a
Yep.
couple really, really good swings. That right there is an awesome swing right through the seam.
Well, I mean, she's one of those players that kind of goes under the radar, but think about it. How many Olympic, she was an Olympic gold, she's an Olympic gold medalist. Like,
Yes,
you
she is.
just, that doesn't happen by accident.
Okay, got a transition chance here.
Oh, good D
Igonu
from
makes the
Iganu.
defensive play.
Ooh.
This is Plummer back into the front court and just enough on it to get it out of the reach of Kazot off the block, and Conegliano gets the side change at 8-6. Oh, man.
That could be the defining play there to get
Wow,
that.
that's so close.
And an athletic move as well by Kazot, who I'd say if anyone from Milano could pick that ball up in the D, it'd be her.
Yeah, she's an awesome
off the
position
block.
6 defender. Really, really good.
Yeah.
But you see Santarelli going to the bench. He brought in Bardaro in the backcourt for Plummer. He brought in Bug. But now these are Conegliano's best rotations right here, with Plummer in the front court blocking and swinging in transition, and Hawk available pretty much everywhere as well.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere.
Literally anywhere. Just throw the ball up
Yep.
and let her
That's
swing.
what you do to these great opposites, and that's what Iganu's going to do.
I was going to say, we should just start counting how many balls go to Iganu and go to Hawk in these next couple points.
Oh, was that ball touched? Yes, it was. Huge break point. What an amazing block touch to slow down the middle. Robin de Cruyff, or might have even been like Plummer reaching late that slowed that down. Let's see. Plummer. Yeah, it was Plummer, like reacting, diving in late, reaching with the right hand that slowed down the middle, and then she put it away in transition. Key, I know you can confirm this. Middle blockers there's nothing middle blockers love more than a pin blocker that helps with the quick. Best thing ever.
For sure. Only if they're going to do it with solid hands. Like, I think sometimes players think, oh, I have to be there. And they just throw their arms up in awkward positions and become a target. Okay, let me just jump in on this timeout because I want to know what he's saying. Okay, all I heard was that last little bit where you said we've got 10 minutes where all of our attention needs to be on like our bodies and our ball control kind of thing. I don't know if you understood the same thing.
I don't speak Italian. So that's
philosophical.
Philosophical, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Philosophical.
I mean, your entire season is going to be defined in the next 10 minutes. Like this is the time to give it all you've got.
I always find it funny how some coaches will give very specific pieces of advice, which I think is really good. Give me something tactical.
Yeah.
The coaches that are on the sidelines going, come on, ladies, we got this. That doesn't help me at all. It's what my teammates are for. It's what the fans are for.
Oh, great coverage.
Straight up.
Wow, Brenda somehow kept them alive, but sent it out of bounds. This is a huge run for Conegliano. I think that's 3-0 in this rotation.
That might be the nail in the coffin. 4 points in a 15-point set. That's going to be tough to come back from.
And a couple decent swing chances here from Igonu, but she chooses to tip that one, and de Cruyff throws it back down. Wow, is she going to regret not taking a swing at that? Wow, now Laura Hireman out of nowhere, like for the first time in the match, in the middle for Foley for Milano. I'm surprised.
I think she was in that Fenerbahce match and did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
as a sub.
She's a good player. I'm just surprised that the first time we see her is like down the stretch in the 5th set of the Champions League final.
Yeah,
but that's a really good swing from Scylla.
Yeah, I think in terms of like technically they certainly can come back in like mentally, emotionally. It's more difficult to come back from this lead.
Wow. Plummer atones for a not very good pass by taking just a ridiculous rip at that ball. That is so impressive. Huge level of confidence taking this swing. Practically at the attack line.
Yeah, at the 3-meter line. She can have that confidence to swing though with this little bit of a cushion of points.
She challenged maybe the best libero on the planet and got the better of her there. Cruyff serving has been with Conegliano since the very beginning of the Santarelli era.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's tight.
very tight set.
Okay, now for sure. Out of system to Hawk, yes.
Good
Oh,
dig.
good dig. Ganu's got.
Oh, they got her. Oh my goodness. Sarah Farr got her on the block.
I mean, that
Wow.
you can feel that that's kind of a last ditch. Throw that ball up to a
Wow.
Ganu and no one covering on the other side. That's unfortunate because
Wow.
that ball kind of traveled and fell, but there's no one in that spot to cover. So
Yeah, that's not a terrible swing. Like she kept that ball
Mm.
pretty high into the block, but like you said, yeah, no coverage happened to be in that spot in the court. I mean, 12-7, you obviously got to call timeout. But with Egonu not having a very Egonu-like fifth set, like what can Milano even do here?
I hate to call it early, but they're gonna have to have some kind of magic. 5 points to make up against the best team in the world.
Wow. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, as pretty much as soon as the match is over, there will be a separate, like, individual stream that goes live for the award ceremony and the celebrations. So you can tune into that one here on YouTube for free, like pretty much immediately when this match is over. Wow, that's a huge swing by Scylla. And we'll, as soon as the match is over, we'll get to capture a little bit of the immediate aftermath and the celebrations as well here on this stream.
Do you have any votes for MVP as of yet?
I mean,
Assuming
scoring
Conegliano take it.
scoring wise, if Conegliano wins, it has to be Hawk because she's got 23 going into this set. That's massive.
Crazy
But
numbers. Yeah.
Plummer's been great. I think Volo should be a pretty good pick. I actually really like giving MVPs to setters. I don't think they get those awards enough. But Milano has now put in Malawal, who's served really well off the bench for him. Oh, huge. What a great pass by Kelsey Robinson-Cook.
That's what she's there for. Stability in the reception, calm under pressure. Just steps in and takes it away from Plummer. And they will have trained that on national team.
Absolutely.
That is exactly straight out of the USA playbook. Let Robinson step in and take more than her share of the court and allow Plummer to just get out there and hit.
You nailed it. You're absolutely right.
I love when I'm right. Thanks, Rob.
All right. Volosh, again, another player that's been with Santarelli at Conegliano since the beginning. That ball is out. Okay, that is touched. The ball is touched.
Touched. Okay.
And Santarelli says, yes, I agree. No challenge.
Good swing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like Louis just said, is it too little too late? I mean, time is ticking away here. And maybe if we were going to a 25 set, they could come back from this.
But alas.
But alas.
2 side outs. Make it 1. Championship point for Conegliano. Catherine Plummer just got it on the right side, and she's been a huge force in rotation 1 over there on the right all season. And this could be it right here, Key.
Yep. Saro Conte, I'll be with you.
Cazot to stay alive. It's out of bounds. It is over. Imoco Conegliano finishes one of the greatest seasons of all time. They win their 4th trophy out of 4. They go undefeated through Champions League, and they've done it again. 2nd title coming home for Daniele Santarelli. Just an incredible, incredible performance. 5-set banger over their country rivals from Milano. Congratulations to Daniele Santarelli and this team. What a performance that was.
That's huge. And you know what? I love that it went to 5 sets because anyone from the outside might be like, oh, Conegliano was going to win this all day long, but they had to work for it. They had to earn that. They had to fight and scrap their way back in and prove that they're the best. They did not just steamroll. That's a great team performance. And again, okay, we can call out Hawk for being one of the top scorers, But the same thing we say over and over and over about Conegliano is it's team performance before everything. They are so consistent. Man, good for them. Congratulations, team.
That was an awesome show. That was an awesome show that both these teams put on. I mean, it's so hard to do what Milano just did. They get crushed in set 1, they come back and win. They get crushed in set 3, they come back and win again. Like, that's just amazing mental fortitude. But at the end of the day, it, like, just barely wasn't enough. And I mean, the final stat line, Paula Egonu looks like I'm looking at 19 points, 16 for 59 attacking with 12 errors, 2 blocks, and an ace. That is not
19.
a Paula Egonu like performance on offense. That's extremely low efficiency for her.
And so after set 4, she had 18 points. So you're telling me she got 1 point in the 5th set?
Let me wait until this updates to confirm that for you. But yeah, that might be the case.
That's insane.
Wow. And Louis just made a point. I wasn't sure if this was totally confirmed, but it has been reported that Robin de Cruyff is retiring from volleyball as of right now, this moment. I think just now what we just saw is her last match in her career. And she just went out
Aw.
on top in the greatest possible way you can imagine.
Yeah. Wow. She's had a phenomenal career. She was on top. Like, we played against each other back in the day, and that was like 10 years ago, and she's still at that elite level. I think I love that. Retiring on your own terms. Don't just
Yeah.
wait till you're not at the top or till you get a little bit less good. She's still elite, and she's just decided, I want to do something else. That's
Oh,
amazing.
look at that. I'm not sure who that particular guy is in the button up and the longer hair. They're just tossing him up and down. We are on the stream key. We are looking at the celebrations from the broadcast. We're looking at Robin de Cruyff ending her career, giving Kelsey
Yep.
Robinson a hug. The tears, the emotions,
Aw.
just the best. That's what volleyball's all about. What I want to see the husband-wife celebration with Santarelli and De Gennaro. I love that volleyball couple. They're the best.
Yeah, they are amazing. And what's crazy is no one would ever know, though, unless you're on the inside of volleyball. They're so professional.
They're
And
so professional.
Yeah, I do just love when we start seeing them both with a medal around their neck, though. I think there's a photo of them, one Santarelli with his Serbian medal at a world champs, and then De Gennaro with her Italian. Well, there we go.
We did it. Congratulations.
day.
It has been a day, huh?
It's been a day. I feel like
everything.
I'm a little dizzy from watching so much volleyball.
Oh,
I hope everyone enjoyed joining us. I mean, this is my first watch along. Normally we do just strictly commentary, and it's a completely different experience, kind of just chatting volleyball rather than strictly commentating it. I enjoyed it. Let us know in the chat if you loved it, if you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and just powering through some of those technical issues from the broadcast side in the 4th set. We got through it. Thanks again to our guests, Ekaterina Antropova and Britt Herbots, as well as Rok Mozic this morning for the men's game. Congratulations to Trentino on their win. Congratulations to Conegliano on their win. Both Champions League titles coming back to Italy. And we say a fond goodbye to the club season as we look forward to an Olympic summer of national team volleyball. Key, I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Should we listen into this interview before we go, or is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Are we able to?
I think so.
I don't know which one I have live. Oh, can they hear?
No,
on our stream? Oh, they
we
can't
don't
hear
have the
our
audio
stream.
from the interview on our stream.
Gotcha. So they could just hear that one.
Yeah, Isabel Hawk was saying that it's obviously so meaningful for her, and she thanks the great crowd in Turkey who she played in front of when she played for Vakifbank for 3 years, and just couldn't have ended the club season any better way. Look at the emotions. This is amazing.
Yeah. Well,
all right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I've loved it. I've had so much fun here. Thanks, Rob, producer extraordinaire. A hand for Rob for just organizing everything, all the graphics, making sure that everything looks right. I just showed up, so that's all I did. So appreciate you.
Well, it was an awesome time, Keith. Thanks for hanging out. I hope to see you soon. Everybody, enjoy National Team Summer of Volleyball. I cannot wait. Give Key and I both a follow. We're going to plug ourselves. Our Instagram handles are on the screen right now. Give us both a
Yeah.
follow because we'll both be real busy covering a lot of volleyball on different platforms this summer. And
Yes,
you're
we will.
going to want to be hanging out with both of us. Congratulations to both teams again. I'm going to kill this stream right about now and go watch the awards ceremony.
Cool. Big hug, Rob. Thanks so much. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.
Bye, guys.